that little asshole done yet?
All right. Welcome back to the Bonsai Movie Crew. Another week. Another dime, another... Well, we ain't getting no dollars,
I'm
but...
going to say, wait a minute, you're getting paid?
No.
When the fuck did we get...
When the fuck did we get ice cream?
When the fuck did we get ice cream? As usual, don't forget to check out our TikTok, Twitter. Is it still Twitter or is it X?
X. Still X.
X, whatever.
What?
Zoltan.
Facebook, our
They changed
YouTube,
the
our
name of
Rumble.
Twitter?
Yeah, it's X
Hey.
now.
Why?
You get with the program. You're interrupting my fucking opening here.
Wait,
Sorry.
Hello, hi, we're interested. You should follow us.
you're the young generation. You should know all this stuff.
Yeah.
Twitter's
She
not
doesn't
the
have
in
a-
know
thing.
about this.
I don't,
She doesn't
I
have
don't
a Twitter.
Twitter's not the in thing anymore. It's Instagram and
It's
TikTok.
not Twitter. It's X.
Sorry. Yeah. X.
To see.
They're trying to make it hip, I guess. Even though Elon Musk fails to realize that, like, the X thing died out with, like, I don't know, the WWF with D-Generation X. Anyway, check out our Rumble also. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Share with all your friends. Tell all your friends how fucking awesome we are. Because we know we're awesome.
Pretty much.
We just need your friends to know that we're awesome, too.
Because
And
we want approval from other people.
I don't need approval.
I don't either.
I'm
I'm
amazing.
good.
I know
Why
it.
you keep telling people that?
No, I just want them to tell their friends how amazing we are. We know we're amazing, but I need their friends to know too, so they need to come check us out.
We want
So
them
they-
to be happy.
Yeah.
And if they're going to be happy, they need to know about us.
Yeah.
See, that makes more sense. Why couldn't you just say that?
That's exactly what it... Well, never mind.
Spread the.
I knew what he was trying to say. He just didn't have the right words.
Spread the happiness.
I'm trying to help.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Also, make sure you comment. We like comments and stuff, so that's cool.
We really do like comments. We like the
Also,
interaction.
make sure you go to our Spotify and our Apple and all that stuff, and give us a good rating, because that'd be cool. Because we're awesome, like I said. So why wouldn't you give us? I mean, of course we get a good rating. It's amazing.
Mm.
All right. Anyway, moving on. This week's creator profile is Morgan Freeman. And goddamn, this dude's been alive for like 86 years. So there's a lot to this fella. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to split this up amongst us all. I'll take the first page. Karen. No, wait. Madison, you can have the second page. Eric, you can have the third page.
Why do I gotta go last?
Well, there's more to read on the last page.
Oh, that's fucking
You're a better
bullshit.
reader than us. We not read so good.
We not
I
read
read
so
great.
good.
I read great.
Shut up. You want to read more?
No.
Shut up.
I got like the last sentence on her page.
It's because I went to the Derek.
Yeah, you might have to
Zoolander school.
You might have to like.
As soon as she's done, I'm like, just jump right into it.
Well, what do you got? What do you got? Let me
In
see yours.
2009. It
No,
starts off like
Hollywood star. It's the start.
Is it part of her paragraph?
no. My paragraph starts off.
No, I mean at the bottom. Or no.
Mine's
Yeah, that's right.
complete.
Mine's complete too.
Mine is too.
It's
Fine.
the first letter capital.
Yeah.
Oh, see what I mean? We don't read so good. Oh, that's not. No, that just says Hollywood, as in like it's
Hollywood
the
star.
title to that
Okay.
paragraph.
I went to the Derek
So you
Zoolander
fucking me
school
up
for
here. I
kids who
figured it was,
can't
like,
read
the
so
last
good.
two letters there. Her
I graduated.
Fuck.
Should have made it bold. Oh wait, it is bold.
We need some.
Is it
We need
bold?
some bends. That's what we need is some.
It's not bold.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't.
just-
I didn't
that's
make any of
just
them.
the,
Okay, you guys are
Mine's
over.
bold.
You're overcomplicating everything.
Yeah,
That's
it's
because.
just the like.
Just shush.
What does that say?
Big
Zzz.
break.
Who cares?
I got it.
Calm down. Do we need to go through this?
Fuck,
What are we doing?
I was
What are we
just
doing?
trying to explain to him what that means. Is just it's telling
Yeah,
him
it's
like
just- yeah.
the next.
We know read correctly.
Oh my god.
Joseph, would you like to start?
Yeah.
Why so many
I'll
words
start.
in one word?
Okay, so all right, so I printed this off of I think it was biography.com. So all right, we're just fucking stupid.
What?
I can't even do this seriously. Can't even do it seriously.
Can
All
we
right.
be professional,
Can we
please?
be professionals around here?
Professionals.
Professionals.
That's why my paper looks so tiny. You cut it.
Yeah, I had to cut the last so I could complete the paragraph. I'm like, why is my paper so small?
I thought something was wrong with me. Someone drugged my water, okay?
Is this the Matrix? Anyway, who is Morgan Freeman? Morgan Freeman joined the Air Force after high school to become a fighter pilot. He later realized it wasn't... Are you sure I have the first page? Yeah, this is the first page.
Yeah, mine starts in 2009.
Okay.
Mine starts in
1987.
Yeah. Okay, I think I've got the first page.
We should have numbered it like 1, 2,
Yeah, Dad.
3. I'm last.
My printer started spitting them out, and I was like, oh shit, it's fucking them up, the order. Usually it prints it out in order. It got caught, and then it just started like...
Doing weird shit.
Yeah, it was like putting them under and over, and I'm like, God damn it. This isn't a deck of cards. Anyway, Morgan Freeman joined the Air Force after high school to become a fighter pilot. He later realized it wasn't what he'd wanted, and thus began his acting career. After years of small parts to limited success, he began to land big roles and win critical and popular acclaim. He's now one of Hollywood's most respected stars. In his early life, Freeman was born on June 1st. That's your birthday. Same as Marilyn Monroe. 1937 in Memphis, Tennessee. The youngest of 5 children born to Barbara Morgan Porterfield Freeman Sr., the school and school teacher Mamie, M-A-Y-M-E.
Mommy.
M-A-Y-M-E.
M-A-Y-M-E.
I would say Mamie.
Mame? Mamie?
Mame.
No, Maine.
Mame? Mamie? Oh, I'm going
No,
with
I say
Mame.
Mamie. It's
Mamie.
usually a pet name, but I'd say it's Mamie.
Anyways,
Mamie Edna Freeman. Freeman was raised in Chicago and Mississippi in a low-income home. Not long after he was born, Morgan's parents, like so many other African Americans, struggled under the pressures of the Jim Crow South. Relocated to Chicago to find work. While his parents looked for jobs, Freeman remained with his maternal grandmother in Charleston, Mississippi. At the age of 6, Freeman's grandmother died, and he moved in with his mother, who had already separated from her alcoholic husband. Oh wow, okay. They just jumped right into that. Well, his dad was an alcoholic.
Apparently.
They later moved to Tennessee and eventually back to Mississippi, where Mamie Edna settled her family in Greenwood. As a kid, Freeman spent a good portion of his time scraping together enough money to see movies, where he formed an early admiration for acting like Gary Cooper, Spencer Tracy, and Sidney Poitier.
Poitier.
Poitier, that's what it is. I knew that name for some reason. It was by chance that Freeman himself got into acting. He was a junior in high school, and as punishment for pulling out a chair from underneath a girl he had a crush on, Freeman was ordered to participate in the school's drama competition. That's punishment? Okay. To his surprise, probably school administrators, the 12-year-old proved to be an immediate natural on the stage, taking top honors in the program. Military service. Huh?
I said, what a fairy tale.
Yeah. Military service. But while Freeman loved to act, flying in particular, the idea of being a fighter pilot was in his heart of hearts. And so, upon graduating high school in 1955, Morgan turned down a partial drama scholarship. Well, that's cool. And joined the U.S. Air Force. The military, though, proved to be much different than what he'd expected. Instead of darting around the skies, Freeman was relegated on the ground activities and as a mechanic and radar technician. He also realized that he didn't want to be shooting down other people. He said, I had this very clear epiphany, he told AARP magazine. AARP magazine? It's a weird magazine.
It's for the elderly.
Okay. You are not in love with this. You are in love with the idea of this. In 1959, Freeman left the Air Force and tried his fortunes out west, moving to Hollywood to see if he could make it as an actor. It wasn't as an easy life. He took acting classes and struggled to find work. In the early 1960s, he moved again, this time to New York City, where more petty day jobs and nighttime auditions followed. Nighttime auditions? What kind of nighttime auditions? Wonder if he was a man of the night, like a woman of the
Find a
night.
stripper name for him too.
Ooh, Morgan Freeballing.
Well, we have to base it on his real name, so that's a good one. I got nothing.
More come freeballing.
See, you're really good at this. I got nothing.
He should be someone's producer.
He should he could work in the adult film industry.
More come freeballing.
Anybody could walk in and Joseph could come up with their porn name.
What's your last name? Come up with one for Ludair.
For what?
Ludair.
Ludair.
Ludair? That's not even a fucking name.
Yeah, it is.
Like
It is
French,
now.
if anything.
Hold on, I got one for Eric. Erect Doug ass.
No, do her.
Why? Let's not. I don't need one.
Carum Doug ass. Carum.
Wait, harem. Harem
Let
is
me
the word.
let me work on that one. I'm not impressed with it. I'll work on it. Anyway, continue.
Caramel.
Huh?
Caramel.
Yeah, there you go.
You're
Caramel.
welcome. I'm helping.
Caramel. I'll work on it.
I appreciate that.
All right, who's next? Madison, you're up.
Krusty Bill.
Big break. In 1967, the same year, he married Jeanette Adair Bradshaw. Why did I say it like that? Bradshaw. Freeman's big career break came when he landed a part in an all-African-American Broadway production of Hello, Dolly, starring Pearl Bailey. Around that time, Freeman also performed in an off-Broadway production of the... Why did you give me this paper? I don't want this paper.
I just handed out papers. Just read
Did
it.
you even read? No, I can't say it.
Oh.
Onomatopoeia. I don't know.
She...
Best bet is to hand it off.
Around
to
that time, Freeman also performed in an off-Broadway production of the N-Word Lovers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Some national exposure followed in 1971. Oh, that is a fucked up name for a play, dude. What the?
Right.
Some national exposure followed in 1971 when he started appearing regularly on The Electric Company, a public television produced by children's TV show that focused on teaching kids how to read. Obviously, we needed that here.
I'm afraid I
On
would
a show
catch
that
myself.
included
Let's get
such
Madison
current...
caught herself.
She
be
could have
like,
just been
"Oh, fuck."
like I catch myself when I'm reading these things just da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
And then you just say it out like, oh, Jack, I didn't say that.
Can we pause?
Yeah.
Can you delete
Wait,
that?
what was the time on that?
Yeah.
That is such a weird name for a play.
I can read the rest.
Let me get through this paragraph. On a teaching show, on a show that included such current and future stars as Rita Moreno, John Rivers, and Gene Wilder, Freeman had some of the show's more memorable characters like Easy Reader, Mel Wounds, and Count Dracula. Sorry, they're on the next.
But television proved to be a grueling and demanding life for Freeman, despite some stage work, including a Tony-nominated performance in The Mighty Gents in the late 1970s. Freeman couldn't seem to break into movies like he wanted. When The Electric Company was canceled in 1976, Freeman saw himself staring at a career that was far from grounded. His personal life was hurting too. Long before the show ended, Freeman found that his marriage had started to fall apart and he began drinking too much. Freeman and Jeanette divorced in 1979. A year after his divorce, Freeman's career caught... Jesus Christ. Freeman's career caught a break when he landed a part as a crazed inmate in the Robert Redford film, Brubaker, 1980. However, the steady stream of film work he hoped would follow did not materialize, and Freeman was forced to retreat back to television for 2 hard years on the cast of the soap opera Another World. For much of the rest of the decade, Freeman took on roles that earned him some acclaim, but not the big, powerful jobs that would garner A-list attention. There was a part in the 1984 Paul Newman film Harry and Son, and he was narrator for the TV miniseries The Atlanta Child Murders, among other roles.
So he's been a narrator for a long time. He's got that voice.
Yeah, but he wasn't really known for it until this movie.
That's true, yeah.
Because of all of his other famous works,
Yeah.
like his famous works before then, he never narrated until this one.
Yeah.
In 1987, Freeman's fortunes changed when he was cast in the film Street Smart, which placed the actor on the screen as the volatile pimp Fast Black.
That's a cool name for a pimp.
I kind of want to see that. I want to see
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman as a pimp.
The
Yeah.
role proved to be a huge success for Freeman, earning him an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actor. Film critics Pauline Kael even went as far as to ask out loud, is Morgan Freeman the greatest American actor? 2 years later, Freeman earned more acclaim, a Golden Globe Award for Best Actor, and a second Oscar nomination. As a kind-hearted but stubborn chauffeur in 1989's Driving Miss Daisy.
I remember that one.
That same year, he also starred in Edward Zwick's critically acclaimed Glory, a drama about the 54th Massachusetts Infantry Regiment, which was one of the first recognized African-American units in the Civil War. By the 1990s, Freeman was riding high in his career, starring in such big-budget films as 1994's Shawshank Redemption, Seven, 1995, and Deep Impact, 1998. With his booming voice, a commanding presence, Freeman was a natural to play God in the 2003 comedy Bruce Almighty and its 2007 sequel Evan Almighty. In 2005, Freeman won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor in Clint Eastwood's $1 Million Baby. He later reprised his roles as Lucius Fox from Batman Begins for the blockbuster sequels The Dark Knight 2008 and The Dark Knight Rises 2012. He also appeared in Rob Reiner's The Bucket List 2007 and the action thriller Red 2010, co-starring Bruce Willis. At the 2012 Golden Globes, Freeman received the Cecil B. DeMille Award for outstanding contributions to the world of entertainment. I like being electric, he has said about his film choices. The more varied, the better. The wider the range, I've been sucked into a kind of mold of a good guy, and that's actually almost beyond my ability to control. But other than that, a good story and an interesting character is all I'm looking for.
That's not true. He wasn't a good guy in The Dreamcatcher.
Wasn't a good guy in Wanted either.
No, he wasn't in Wanted either, yeah.
So
He was a really bad guy in bad guy in Dreamcatcher.
Yeah,
actually.
he was.
Freeman's eloquent, distinctive voice has also made him a natural for narration. His voice can be heard on such memorable films as War of the Worlds and the Academy Award-winning documentary March of the Penguins. In 2010, he also replaced Walter Cronkite's voice to introduce the news anchor Katie Couric on the CBS Evening News.
Really?
Katie Couric.
In 2009, Freeman teamed up with Eastwood again, playing the role of South African President Nelson Mandela in Invictus. The role earned him an Oscar nod for Best Actor. A few years later, he appeared in the action thriller Olympus Has Fallen in 2013. The sci-fi film Oblivion, 2013. The comedy Las Vegas in 2013. The sci-fi blockbuster Lucy in 2014. And did voice work for the animation The Lego Movie in 2014.
Hey, Lucy don't get enough credit. That was a good fucking movie.
I don't think I saw that one.
No, Lucy, the one with Scarlett Johansson,
Yeah,
where she plays the prostitute or whatever. That gets,
I've heard of it. I've never
it's
seen
really
it.
good. It's really good.
In 2015, he played the Chief Justice of the United States on the television show Madam Secretary, for which he is also an executive producer. The following year, in September 2016, President Barack Obama presented Freeman with a National Medal of Arts. At the ceremony, President Obama said Freeman was being honored for his outstanding work as an actor, director, and narrator. His iconic stage and screen performances have brought to life characters from the whole spectrum of the human experience, moving audiences from around the world and influencing countless young artists. Freeman reprised his role as Alan Trumbull in 2016's London Has Fallen and 2019's Angel Has Fallen. Off camera, while it may be a late blooming success, it's nothing he's at all bitter about. Success comes when it comes, he has said. I had a career for 30 years. A 30-year career is not bad.
That's what she said. Comes when it comes.
I often think I'm probably lucky that I wasn't a wild success early on. Coming up through the 1970s, I could have easily burned out. In 1997, Freeman co-founded the movie
Don't
production...
worry, Eric, it comes when it comes.
Freeman co-founded the movie production company Revelations Entertainment.
Rush this.
Including online movie distribution company Clickstar. He also launched a host of charitable endeavors. The actor, who resides in the Mississippi Delta, raised money for Katrina victims not long after the devastating hurricane ripped through the area. Through Rock River Foundation, an organization he started, Freeman's group has donated millions to educational programs, and in 2004 he helped organize relief funds for hurricane victims in Grenada.
She's over here folding a fucking airplane.
Oh.
Want to get smacked.
This is why I stay over there.
This is going to be some paper airplanes flying around here soon.
After hearing about the decline of honeybees and its devastating impact on the environment, Freeman turned his 124-acre ranch into a beekeeping sanctuary in July of 2014. Freeman's energy extends into other realms, too. In his home state of Mississippi, the actor co-founded a blues club in Clarksdale. In recent years, Freeman also earned his pilot's license. Freeman's personal life has also experienced a bit of turbulence in recent years. He and his second wife, Myrna, split in 2007, and he was...
Hose for days.
It's only his second wife. This will be my second marriage. What are you trying to say?
Yeah, but how much older was he?
Well, he's in his 80s now.
Yeah,
so.
he's like 86 now.
How many wives has he had?
Two.
That's pretty damn good for 80.
That's not bad.
So did the other one divorce?
Yeah, they both divorced.
Were you not
Well, I don't
listening?
know. They split in 2007, so I'm not done yet. I don't know if he got married again. And he was in a near-fatal car accident in Charleston, Mississippi the following year. But among his setbacks, none was as tragic than in 2015 when he discovered that his step-granddaughter, Adina Hines, whom he and Myrna had adopted, was murdered by her boyfriend in New York City.
I remember hearing about that.
Yeah. The world will never know her artistry and talent and how much she had to offer, Freeman said in a statement to People. Her friends and family were fortunate enough to have known what she meant as a person. Yet, despite such difficult times, the actor has continued to work and shows no signs of slowing down. His choice of roles, as well as his off-screen demeanor, have earned him respect from even those who not used to pouring out praise for their interview subjects. He's a delightful man, said Mike Wallace, who interviewed the actor for a 2006 piece on 60 Minutes. He's a thoughtful man. He's in no sense a bitter man. He's still exploring his life and times. I have immense respect for Morgan Freeman.
All right, Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
There's no trash can over there.
I was aiming for the camera. I missed terribly.
Let's all try.
All right, everybody try.
I gotta
Just
do my
don't throw it too hard.
I'm not gonna throw it
See if you
hard.
can, aim for it. Cool.
Well,
That was pretty good, actually. That wasn't too bad. What are you...
You missed bad.
You missed bad.
It was a goose.
You missed not good. That was bad, too. Karen had the best one
So far. Are you going to do
with an airplane.
it?
This one ain't well either, I promise. I'm not good at throwing airplanes. You like it though?
Throw it at the camera. See if it'll
Look at it.
be
You
even
gotta look
cooler
at
if it
first.
flies by the camera. Oh, that was terrible.
That was awful.
I know, but I want my
All right, moving on. Actually, first, what has everybody or what is that?
April just sent this to me. It's so bad. It's so crass, but we've already gone crass here, so it's a text
Wow.
exchange. So the first text says, "My pussy is still half shaved." Second one says, "Please don't start the trend of pussy mullets."
What?
The next one says, "I could bleach it and pierce my lip and call it ho exotic."
Yep.
Thanks, April.
You're welcome. Stupid. All right. Anyway.
Carol Baskin
Oh,
made him do it.
exotic. Yeah, Carol Baskin.
She made her do it.
All right. So, everybody's favorite Morgan Freeman movie.
Oh shit. I'd have to go over
I
the
mean,
catalog.
you can think about it if you want. I'm going to do it every week whenever we get a creator
I'll
profile.
look up the movies that I.
Oh well, thanks for the warning, and then I can have it because
Yeah.
I'd have to look at.
I'm probably going to ask it every week, so just so everybody's aware.
Yeah.
I honestly, I don't even. Oh man, he's done so many. Seven is my.
Yes,
yeah,
definitely.
7.
I easily.
Why would I
yep.
even? Why do I even? Have
I
to
don't
think
even
about
know
that?
why I had to think about it. Like that's definitely my favorite.
Yeah, that's
I love
definitely my
that.
favorite movie.
I
it is.
love that movie.
Yeah, 7. And then I think second would have to be. I really like Dreamcatcher, man. Like I really like.
I like that one
Dreamcatcher.
because he steps outside of his.
Yeah,
normal-
I just like that movie in general. So, and I think he's great in it.
Oh, I know. I like the movie too, but I like his performance especially
Right.
in it.
I'm gonna go. That's my first one is 7, and then Dreamcatcher would be my second.
Wait, who's he play as in the Lego movie?
Oh, he plays the wizard.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, he's the wizard.
The Wizard.
Yeah. What about you?
I honestly liked him in Shawshank.
Shawshank. Yeah, he's pretty
Yeah.
great in Shawshank.
I
That probably
think
be
he
it.
does a great job as God too. And,
Oh, that yeah.
Bruce Almighty.
yeah,
Yeah.
Bruce Almighty.
All right, Madison, you
Probably Shawshank.
Shawshank. All right. Anyway, so there's our favorites. Let's move on.
What the hell have you been watching?
What have you guys been watching? Let's start with Eric.
Okay, so let me write this shit down. 27.
This shit down.
All right.
God, come on, Eric.
Hey. I'm getting there. Fuck off.
Hey,
Anyways, all right. So I watched Braveheart.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in 100 years.
Yeah, right. Probably because it's 100 years long.
It came up. It came up on something like what you may like. So I watched it. The World's End, one with Simon Pegg.
Yep.
That one's good.
That was
Good one.
That's a good one. Buddy Games. It's a good comedy.
Is that the one with?
Oh, it's a newer one, right?
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Well, there's a second one now.
Oh, is there? Yeah, I want to see that.
That's a pretty good comedy.
It's like a low budget comedy kind of.
Yeah,
Then
but it still looked kind of funny.
Yeah.
I watched The Flash.
The new one. What'd you think of that?
Well, with my emotions with my mom, it kind of fucked me up. But
Right.
other than that, I mean,
I'll probably watch it sometime in I don't know. 2060?
Get past all that stuff.
2060.
2060. It was an okay movie.
I honestly, the hype around that movie, I was like, yeah, it's good. I was like, but
And
not as great as everybody's making it out to
and
be.
I think
kinda
everybody
fucked
had
it
like
up.
really big hype for Michael Keaton being Batman again.
And he was
That's what
okay,
it
but
was.
like, honest, just
He-
not our movie, but the yeah.
Review.
Is that it?
I still maybe
We watched together.
Probably.
And because I remember we watched it at my mom's house years ago.
Was
Yes.
that Hitchhiker?
And-
It wasn't Inglourious Basterds.
And I remember the first time I
And it
watched
wasn't
it, I
too
didn't
far-
like it. And you were like, dude, it was one of those things where I didn't like it at first. And you were like, but dude, why? And I was just like, I just didn't like it. I didn't like the movie. And you were like, and you didn't understand why. But the more it's like, I've come to this conclusion about Quentin Tarantino. The more you watch him, the more you love him.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's
and
one
I love
of those
Inglourious
too that
Basterds
like
now.
you have to digest in pieces, I feel like.
Yeah.
And I know like if you like pause it and kind of think about it a little bit as you watch it. So I mean that makes it last longer, but anyway, I remember him saying, you know, like, well, I've never seen it, so like let's watch this. And I'm like, it's like 7 hours long, and like, you know what I mean? Like you've seen it, so you're like, I don't want to watch it. But we did, and it didn't seem that long.
No.
I
It
mean,
goes
like
really fast.
I'm watching it. I'm just like, man, that was 2 hours and some odd. Like I didn't feel like
It
was
goes
too-
fast.
Even Shawshank.
If they
Shawshank, I
utilize
was
the
like,
time wisely, hey, even Shawshank, like if they
No.
use
yeah, I
utilize
watched
the
Shawshank,
time,
and I'm like, damn, that was
yeah,
fast.
if they utilize the time, and this is something they used to do back in the day with good movies, they don't do it anymore. They utilize the time wisely instead of putting in all this filler shit that doesn't
Yes,
make doesn't
yes.
add anything to the story.
It's not a good thing when
Yeah.
somebody can watch your movie and go, if you cut out 20 minutes of this movie, it would have been way better. You know, if somebody watches a 2.5
and you
hour
hear that a
movie,
lot lately.
Yeah,
like,
if you watch a 2.5
here
hour
lately,
movie,
you'll hear it from reviewers and everything. Like you could have shaved 20 minutes off this movie and still had a great movie.
Mhm.
So-
If you
Like
you
that-
watch
was
a
that Nope? Was it Nope? Where
Notebook,
They, no,
no,
Nope.
he said nope.
nope.
Where they
I like Nope.
kept-
Shut up.
They kept bringing in the monkey.
See,
The monkey
now-
threw me off.
I think
I
that
still
movie.
haven't-
I think that
was
movie.
poignant.
Yeah,
I think that needed to stay
I think
in
that
there.
movie was. It was like a Tarantino movie. Everything said something
Yeah,
for the movie.
I watched it the
So-
first time and I was like, meh.
That's
The
kinda-
second
yeah,
time I watched
yeah.
it, I really liked it.
I didn't like it as much the first time. The second time, I loved it. So
Yeah.
I couldn't get into it.
But
Yeah.
if you watch a 2-hour movie and you say, wow, that did not feel like 2 hours, that's a good 2-hour movie.
yeah,
And then I watched it's a true crime show. It's called Very Scary People. My mom told me to watch it, and I started to watch it. It's very good. We watched The Purge because we wanted to watch some of the other like Purge movies, and I kind of refused to watch them until and I hadn't seen The Purge in a really long time, so I kind of wanted to start from the beginning.
I've never
I
watched.
think I've
The
seen
Purge.
all of them.
I have not seen any of them past the first
They
one.
get
so.
better.
I've
Yeah,
never seen
well, I
any
liked
of
the
them.
first one. I
The
remember
first one was
liking
good
it.
for an enclosed movie, like a movie that's confined to a home.
Mhm.
After that, it gets bigger and
Yeah.
bigger, and then they bring in and anybody can say what they want about this dude, but I love what's his name? Frank Grillo. He's a big action movie guy,
Mhm.
and he's one of those guys who thinks acting is silly, but
Okay.
but he does it for a living.
Okay.
But he's a great action movie guy, and I love seeing him in movies. So
Okay.
I
I want to see some of the sequels because I'm interested. I think I like the idea of it being moved out of a house, you know.
yeah.
But I don't want to see it until I've watched the first one and refreshed it a little bit. So that's what we did. We watched that one. The Joe Bob movie was Cannibal Holocaust. And I'm just gonna throw out here. I don't know if anybody here seen that movie, Cannibal
I
Holocaust.
don't think
No.
so.
If you do watch that movie, I'd like to hear everybody's take on the soundtrack.
The soundtrack.
It fucks with me every time I watch it because this movie is brutal. And I'm not talking brutal as in like anything you've ever seen before. If you watch this movie, it's brutal. And if you're not ready for it, don't watch it. It's brutal. The things they put on there to prepare you are not going to prepare you enough. If you're a pansy, don't fucking watch it.
Is it a horror movie?
Yes,
Yes.
What's it called?
it's
And it's-
old.
and
It's from the 70s.
Yeah, and it's a horror movie in the aspect that it's brutal.
Yeah.
It's not a horror movie as in like, oh, I'm scared.
Isn't it? No, it's gory.
It's
gory,
rough.
and it gets to the point. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one thing I do know. I know.
It's more about it's about cannibals,
Mhm.
right? They go to
yeah.
the jungle to like do a documentary on these cannibals. But the real story is who's really the savages. Okay?
Mhm.
That's the real story, and without going too far into it. But the soundtrack to this movie fucks me up because you have this really good horror soundtrack going on from time to time, but then like when it gets into these really brutal sections of the movie, they start playing this really cheerful music and it takes me out of the movie every time. And it's the only soundtrack I've ever listened to that does that to me. They start this cheery music and I'm like,
It'd be like
Am I watching MASH? That's what it sounds like. I'm like,
Be
I'm not
watching-
watching MASH right now. I'm watching a brutal fucking movie.
like that leather face part where they're like at that dinner table and they're like doing all that.
Yeah, but that's on purpose. This is like the soundtrack of the movie. Some guy created the score for this movie with this in mind. You know what I mean?
It's true.
And I understand. Like I
He
looked
literally
it up.
watched the movie while they were playing the score.
Yeah,
that's
like-
how they make it. That's how they make
Yeah.
scores.
And I looked it up. They did it on purpose to sort of give you that like, this is brutality, and then like this is happening over here, like to give you that dynamic, I guess. But it doesn't work for me. Most people think it's brilliant, but for me, it takes me out of the movie every time I watch it. I'm watching it, and that soundtrack starts up, and I'm like, I'm watching MASH. I'm watching some comedy. I'm watching some, it just doesn't work for me. It fucks with me every time. So if you guys ever watch it, let me know what you think about the soundtrack. Because apparently I'm the only one in the world that feels that way.
Don't fuck with my emotions.
Yeah. And then the last one I watched was From Beyond, because I've been wanting to see that. Like the first movie collaboration between Stuart Gordon and Barbara Crampton and Jeffrey Combs. That was their first collaboration together. It was pretty good. I liked it.
They all did Castle Freak, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they did From Beyond, and then they did Reanimator. Reanimator was first, From Beyond, and then Castle Freak. But it was pretty good, and I'll tell you, that is where James Gunn got his inspiration for Grant.
Oh, really?
Guarantee it. Because you're watching it, you're going, mm-hmm. Yep, there he is.
There's Grant.
There's Grant. So yeah, that's all I watched.
All right, Madison, what'd you watch?
Wow. You guys were watching all these like cannibal movies and everything.
I don't have a single cannibal movie on my list.
I didn't.
I watched Miraculous
I'm the only one that watched the
Ladybug
cannibal movie.
She watched the Miraculous Ladybug, that
The
kids
movie.
kids movie.
and the show with
And
my
the
little
show.
brother and SpongeBob.
That's it.
I like me some SpongeBob.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just talking about that one episode where he's like,
Oh.
Nosferatu.
I guess I got Ada to watch the black thing with me.
Oh, did you like that? Oh yeah, you've already seen it. You'd already seen it.
Ada liked it,
Did you?
I think.
I think.
She had a really weird face on the end, but when I asked her, she said yeah. So
The end gets a little campy and dumb, but it's good. For me, I watched. I've been trying to muscle my way through Twisted Metal. It's getting a little more
Campy?
No, I wouldn't say campy.
Picking up.
It's picking up a little steam. You're liking the characters a little more. It's getting. I'm on episode 6 or 7.
Where's
One or
it
the other.
streaming at again?
Peacock.
Peacock.
It's picking up. Like it's starting to you're starting to feel a little bit more
Twisted Metal.
like between the two main characters, which would be the girl from Brooklyn Nine-Nine and Anthony Mackie. Like you're feeling a little bit more about them. Like you feel more attached.
There's more
to them.
development there.
There's more development there, which is nice. Even Sweet Tooth, he plays a decently sized role. Like he's not in every episode, but whenever he is on screen, he steals the show like every time. Like
Mhm.
he's great. But I don't know.
He fucking should.
I'm kind of like I'm getting into it a little bit more than the first. Like it's one of them shows you got to invest, or you're not gonna like it.
Yeah.
I think because the first couple episodes, like this is dumb, and the more I'm watching it, I'm like, this ain't so bad. You know,
See,
what
that's
I
how
mean?
Kinda
Breaking
like-
Bad was for me.
Yeah.
The Office and Community, it was kind of the same way. Getting like 2 or 3 episodes. And it was like,
Community I liked right away, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Like I was like
Yeah.
that with Breaking Bad. I think I had to watch like 5 or 6 episodes before I was
There's
like,
some shows
I'm
like
into
that. Like it takes a minute to get into them, but once you're like Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is a good one to like. It starts out with a good hook in the first episode, but after that it gets really dull for quite a few episodes, and you got to really pay attention. But if you can get through that, especially that first season, the entire series is amazing.
am I allowed to watch Game of Thrones?
I mean, there's a lot of nudity, especially in the
watched
first couple of
Shameless.
seasons. Oh yeah, you'll be all right.
Vikings was kind of the same way.
Huh?
Vikings. This TV show Vikings.
Yeah.
was kind of the same way. And same
Yeah.
with,
Well, I don't know. Vikings picked up for me right away. Like it was cool to watch. Like
yeah.
Game of Thrones, like it was cool and everything, like the whole medieval stuff and everything. But like, I don't know. It just wasn't like it took a minute for me to get into it. I guess. Lucky for me, whenever I started watching, I think 2 seasons were already out. So
So you
Or,
could
yeah.
like binge it a little bit and get
Yeah, I
into
can
it.
watch first couple seasons.
It's like the Last Kingdom. That was another one. It took me like maybe one or two episodes to really get into that.
I've heard that about that one. Though.
It's a good
Then
one to
there's
watch.
so I watched that, and then I watched I started watching that show Invincible on Amazon. It's the animated superhero movie or show about
yeah.
it's got Omni-Man in it and stuff like that. So it starts out like this, this is a fun superhero show, and then the ending of the first episode is just like, holy fuck, you know what I mean? Like, it's jaw dropping. It's very jarring, yeah. It definitely throws like throws a right hook, out of nowhere. And it was pretty cool. It gets really brutal really fast. Like, it's gore heavy. So it's pretty good show. I've been kind of getting into that a little bit, watching it when I can. Episodes are only like a half hour long, I think, right? Are they? I can't remember how. They might be longer than that. I don't remember. I know that the Twisted Metal episodes are only a half hour long. So I watched those. That's pretty much all I watched this week. And then we went to took the boys to the movie theater and watched that new Ninja Turtles movie. And I don't know, man.
Messing with your childhood.
No, I mean, I like to think that the Ninja Turtles are always open to new interpretations, and I'm okay with that.
That's fair.
That doesn't bother me. I think I'm just like jarred by it because it's very different. It's very like if you've seen the Spider-Verse movie, they definitely went with that kind of style, like that 2D over 3D animation, and it's cool, but at the same time, like it's very dark, and it's very like. It's very artistic in some scenes where you're like, this. I don't even understand what I can't even see what's going on, and it was cool. And I love the music in it, and I love the attitudes of the kids, like their banter back and forth, like between the turtles and everything like that. It was funny. I think everybody did a great job. I don't know, man. They might have done too many changes. I think too many changes.
Did the kids like it?
The kids loved it. Crystal liked it. I wouldn't say they liked it as much as most other kids' movies, but they still enjoyed it. It's one of the movies that I think most people, like adults and kids alike, can fall into. You know what I mean? And it was good. I think it's a movie that I'm gonna have to watch again to like give a real serious
look at it,
look and review on it. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of
There's
those
some movies
things.
like that.
You
that
can just
you
watch
know.
it with me then.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch it again. Like, it's a good movie. I suggest watching it just to see what other people think of it, honestly. Because I think it's one of the movies that might be, like, divided a little bit. Like, I could see it being divided a little.
Sure.
It's a cool interpretation, but, like, I know people are all up in arms about April being this, like, heavier set black girl. Who gives a shit? I don't give a fuck.
Well, it's funny because, there's all this talk of, race swapping and stuff and how everything works out today. But, today's movie actually got me thinking about that because in the novel, Red is an Irishman.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's a redheaded Irishman. So, as I've said many times before, who cares as long as they bring their
Apparently they were doing it back in 94, too.
Who cares as long as they bring the character to life? I've said that a million times.
I'll be honest with you, like, I don't think April, like the girl April in the movie, she's just a high schooler. And she did great. I mean, she was fun to watch and everything like that. I could see where, like, something people, I know one guy was like on there bitching, oh man, the reason why people aren't mad at it because she's black. They're mad at it because April O'Neil, whenever we were kids, was,
Hot?
she was something attractive to look at. I'm like, dude, she's a 15-year-old girl. Like,
right?
Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, she's a 15-year-old girl. So it's weird and it's outrageous. Who cares? If you don't like, it's like I said, just like everything else, just like how I treated The Little Mermaid. If you don't like it, don't look at it.
But why do you have to have something hot to look at in your movie?
Right.
As an adult, especially.
Especially a children's movie.
I can see a teenager having that attitude.
Right.
You're an adult now.
I know I didn't walk into the Mario Brothers movie like, oh man, if Peach ain't got that fucking peach-shaped ass, I'm walking out. No, I walked in like, cool, there's Peach. Who cares?
Just how I expected.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't
like,
care.
You're not walking into a movie at the age we are now going, if there isn't some sexuality in this,
right?
I'm fucking out of here.
Especially for a kids movie.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, dude, the kids who voiced the turtles were awesome. I think that the kid who voiced Mikey, should have swapped with the guy who voiced Donatello. Like, they should have swapped. Like, their voice, like, Donatello had the more fun-loving voice, which I guess so did Michelangelo. But, like, I don't know. Like,
It sounded weird to you.
it did sound a little weird to me, like that. But, like, Seth Rogen is, like, I think he played, was it Rocksteady? He played one of them.
That's great.
And then John Cena played the other.
That's perfect.
I didn't know that John Cena was the other one until I saw him in the credits.
Because you didn't see him.
But Seth Rogen, like, he stands out. He's like,
oh, yeah, because he's just playing himself.
Yeah, he's just playing himself. But they don't get a lot of lines, though, either. But, yeah, other than that, it was good.
Okay.
Ice Cube as the Fly dude was awesome. I loved hearing Ice Cube's voice.
Yeah.
So, because I love Ice Cube, but I think it's like I'm an NWA fan. I can't help it. I love NWA. Anyway, that's all I watched this week. But anyway, if you guys have seen the Ninja Turtles movie, let me know what you guys thought of it, because I enjoyed it, I think, but I think I need to watch it again to reaffirm that. Like, everybody else liked it. The kids loved it. Crystal loved it. She thought it was funny. But I want to watch it again, I think, to kind of see what I actually think of it.
Since you're asking the question, anybody else out there that's watched Cannibal Holocaust, am I wrong about the soundtrack? Or do you guys feel that way? Anybody else out there that feels that way? Am I the only one on the planet that feels that way?
Yeah, you are.
I don't know,
Probably.
I've never seen it, so
I know, I'm asking them.
That's one movie that I've never seen that I'm always been like, I need to watch that movie. I need to start making a list and just write it down of all the movies that I need to watch on Blu-ray.
Yeah, I think I have some kind of collector's edition. Because I'm fucking weird.
So, what?
I'm fucking weird.
You're fucking weird?
I'm fucking weird.
Okay. All right, anyway, that's all we've watched this week. Let's get into our movie, since it's a long one. We're already 47 minutes into
Yeah,
this.
I was about to say.
Morgan Freeman, not only do you live long, you do long movies, you got a long history. You're making my podcast long. Stop.
We're gonna apologize now.
I also watched that new
It's a long one.
Oh, did you? What'd you think of it?
It was like the other one, but with more songs. And they turned Flounder to a flatfish.
To a flatfish.
I heard that the new songs didn't match the style of the old ones.
I thought it did. I thought it added
Like
more
they didn't
to
mesh.
their relationship in a way.
Okay.
Eric's and Ariel's, it just added more to their relationship, which was nice. Because in all Disney princess movies, they're like, you met 3 days ago.
Yeah.
You're married.
I'm 16 and I love him.
I think I'm growing to that point with the race swapping stuff that I'm beginning to care a lot less. Like, the more that people bitch about it, I care less and less.
I honestly,
every
I
day
don't
about
care
it.
as long as you bring the character to
Yeah,
life.
I
If you
mean-
bring
Yeah.
that character to life,
Like,
I don't
well,
care.
Really good
At
it.
times I was like, yeah, why would you race swap? And then there were other times like, who gives a shit? I'm at this point now, like,
Unless,
I really
unless
don't
it's
care.
cultural appropriation, like the
Yeah.
Cleopatra thing, or things like that. I don't care.
Yeah,
you know, I
Ariel-
mean, in a
it's Ariel.
historical matter.
what? Because you
know,
needed a hot redhead to play the stupid.
the only
and
problem-
she's
She's a
only
fucking
16.
mermaid. They're not even real.
And she's
Yeah.
16.
The only problem I have, like the race swapping thing, like you said, if the person comes in and brings their A game, cool, great. But if they just put them in there just to be woke, no, I'm not.
I
not
don't
happy
care
about
either
that.
way.
I'm
If
just saying.
it-
I'm just
but
saying.
then
If like they
again-
bring a character in, they don't do a great job. They just.
But
did
let's
it
face
for
it, though,
whatever.
it's hurting Disney's bottom line too. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
they need to figure out what they're doing, or they're going to lose a lot more money because obviously they're doing something wrong.
That's true.
Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's get into our movie this week.
Let's talk about the movie.
This week we watched Shawshank Redemption from 1994.
49.
Do you have the plot synopsis in that?
I do.
49.
I'm always taken off guard. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Framed in the 1940s for the double murder of his wife and her lover, upstanding banker Andy Dufresne begins a new life at the Shawshank prison, where he puts his accounting skills to work for an amoral warden. During his long stretch in prison, Dufresne comes to be admired by the other inmates, including an older prisoner named Red, for his integrity and unquenchable sense of hope. 2 hours and 22 minutes, rated R. Tim Robbins as Andy Dufresne, Morgan Freeman as Red, Bob Gunton as the warden, Bill motherfucking Sadler as Haywood, and Clancy Brown as Captain Byron T. Hadley.
I love that this is the second week in a row that we've watched a Clancy Brown movie.
Yeah.
I love Clancy Brown. He come on the screen and Crystal's like, he's an asshole. I was like, but it's Clancy Brown. He can play an asshole
he's
all
really
day.
Not. Well, he
he's
plays an asshole a lot, but he's
Yeah.
really not. Though.
No, he's
actually
not.
A really
no,
nice
he's actually
guy.
a really nice dude. He's a straight shooter too, though.
Yeah, he
he's
is.
very much a straight shooter.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It means he's like very direct. He's very forward, and he doesn't bullshit.
What's your first Clancy Brown movie? Do you remember?
Oh,
I can tell you mine. Unfortunately, I guess it's not really unfortunate.
I don't know, to be honest with you. I'd have to go back on his stuff.
It's really not a bad
I want to
movie.
say Starship Troopers might have
Really?
been the first thing I ever watched of his.
I think mine was Pet Sematary too.
Ooh, you might be right. I might have watched that
Yeah,
first.
that was definitely my
Yeah.
Which
first
is
one.
weird because like it's like one of those like straight to video kind of deals. But like
yeah, but it was still good.
yeah, it was great. Nobody liked it because like nobody saw it, but I loved it. I thought it was
That
really
or
good.
Highlander.
Was he?
I
a Highlander?
didn't see Highlander.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever
He
seen
was the bad guy
Highlander.
in Highlander.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen
He was?
Highlander.
Yeah.
I think you're thinking of the dude from Dexter.
Pretty sure he was in Highlander.
Didn't you just say yesterday that they were with the same person?
No. No. Yeah, he was in Dexter in the last season. But I'm talking about the guy who played Harry, his dad, who also played Raiden in the second Mortal Kombat movie.
Yeah, he was in Highlander.
Yeah, he was in Highlander.
But I thought he was the good guy in Highlander.
Mm-mm.
Oh no, he wasn't.
No.
I've never seen Highlander. I've just seen bits and pieces.
He was the one with the skull cat.
Yeah, he definitely was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've never seen Highlander though.
Holy shit, he was. Okay.
Yeah. That was actually probably my first one, and then Pet Sematary was when I got a little older.
I couldn't even tell you if I've seen all the Highlander movies. It's been so long.
I don't think I've seen any of them. Maybe bits and pieces of all, but I don't think I've seen any of them.
There can only be one.
Yep.
All right. We're going to get into this. I'm going to read the whole... Or no, sorry. We're going to do Would You Guys Watch Again? Obviously. Would you guys watch again?
No, definitely.
Yep,
And I
yep.
definitely recommend
I've seen it before. I
No.
watch it again.
You know, this was actually
No.
probably my first time
You
watching
wouldn't watch it
all the way
again?
through.
No,
Really?
Why?
because I'm lying. That's why.
Always got to throw a hook in there, don't you? Oh, you're so clever.
So witty.
So witty and so clever, Madison. I don't know. Are you sure you're my kid? Sorry, I took that really far. Anyway.
According to some people, no.
All right. Well, obviously, I would watch it again, and I would recommend it. It's a fucking classic, and I have the special edition on Blu-ray. This movie's baller as shit. This is Madison. This is not Madison, but Crystal's one of Crystal's favorite movies.
It's
like,
very good.
I said we were going to watch. She's like, I have to watch that with you.
Yeah, it's a very good
All right.
movie. Very well done.
So she loves it. All right, so we're going to get into it. Heavy spoilers. We are going to give the entire movie away, and the entirety of the movie will be given away. So spoilers.
So if you haven't watched it yet, go watch it and then come back.
See you in about 2.5 hours. All right, so in 1947, Andy Dufresne is a docile banker in Portland, Maine. Everything was always in Portland, Maine for
Well, it's always in Maine, not
it's
necessarily
always
Portland.
in Maine, yeah.
Usually it was Castle Rock until he blew it up.
Blew it up in what?
In Needful Things.
Oh.
Why would they do that?
Because it's...
Because he kept using it and he wanted to make sure he didn't keep using it.
You gotta understand, Stephen King's got his own universe.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Could you imagine there being a Stephen King universe?
There is, and it's vast.
I'm talking about like movies, just movies upon movies.
Oh,
it
God,
could be,
it'd be forever.
yeah, it'd be forever long, and there would be like
Especially if you included the
Dark Tower shit.
The Dark Tower stuff. Like, holy shit, because you're talking about like the whole universes upon universes at that point.
Right.
How many books does Stephen King have published?
Oh,
More than any fucking other author ever known to man. This dude has written so many books.
mm-hmm. If you're interested in reading any of them, I have a shit ton.
He had, yeah, god damn, I don't even know, honestly. Let me look that up. I want to tell you guys how many books Stephen King...
I have a Stephen King book upstairs that I need to return to the library because it's been 2.5 months.
I love his writing. He writes like people think and are, and that's why he's so
That's why
successful.
people like him so much, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
How many Stephen King books are there? Somebody's already asked this question.
Like just
Oh,
like
yeah.
Shawshank is not horror, obviously, so he doesn't just do horror. There's like he's even got one that's like kings and queens and shit.
It says he has published over 65 novels or novellas, including 7 under the pen name
Richard
Richard
Bachman.
Bachman, and 5 nonfiction books. He has written over 200 short stories, most of which have been compiled in book collections. Many of his stories are set in his home of the state of Maine. So it says right here, novels 65, collections 11, nonfiction 5, screenplays 19, and others are 16. A lot. Like more than any other author. More than, it has to be. I don't think there is any other author that's written more than him.
Nobody that's
Nobody
as-
prominent or as big.
Yeah, he's definitely
He's definitely got more properties that have been adapted.
Well, and I think
and
it's
things like
because
that.
he's so versatile. Like, he's known for his horror stuff, but he doesn't just have horror. Obviously, we're not
Right.
talking about a horror movie tonight.
Yeah, exactly. The Green Mile is one of them,
Yeah.
and that's not horror. So
That's
Stand
a
By
great
Me.
movie.
Stand By Me is another one.
That was based on The Body. It's a short story, The Body. This is also it's a novella. This one's a novella.
Okay, so anyway, back to it because we got a lot to read.
Yeah.
We keep
Keep going.
One night he suspects his wife is cheating on him with a golf pro, and after he left intoxicated, an intruder broke in and killed the both of them. See, now they shouldn't say this already because that was something that was let out of the bag later on in the movie.
Yeah, because you're not entirely certain if
Yeah,
he's-
for the first like
Guilty or not.
3/4 of the movie, you're not sure of his guilt at all. Andy is wrongfully convicted of murdering his wife and her lover due to possessing a revolver despite his claims of innocence. His cold and measured demeanor led many to doubt his word and is sentenced to 2 consecutive life sentences at Shawshank State Prison. The inmates there spend more time indoors than outdoors as the world change significantly in the time span of their prison sentence, and no prisoner has ever successfully escaped alive. During the first night, the chief guard, Byron Hadley, savagely beats a newly arrived inmate because of his crying and hysterics.
To death.
Yeah. The inmate later dies in the infirmary because the prison doctor had left for the night. Meanwhile, Andy remained steadfast and composed. Assigned the work in the prison laundry, Andy is sexually assaulted often by the sisters and their leader, Boggs. About a month later, Andy befriends Ellis Red Redding, an inmate and prison contraband smuggler serving a life imprisonment. Red procures a rock hammer for Andy, an instrument he claims is necessary for his hobby of rock collecting and sculpting. Red believes Andy intends to use the hammer to engineer his escape in the future, but when the tool arrived and he saw how small it is, Red put aside the thought Andy could ever use it to dig his way out of the prison.
600 years.
Yeah, in 600 years. Although other prisoners consider Andy a really cold fish, Red sees something in Andy. In 1949, Red pulls some strings and gets Andy a few of their mutual friends, a break by getting them all work detail tearing the roof off of one of the prison buildings. During the job, Andy overhears Hadley complaining about having to pay taxes for an upcoming inheritance. Using his expertise as a banker, Andy lets Hadley know how he could shelter his money from the IRS, turning it into a one-time gift for his wife. He said he'd assist in exchange for some cold beers for his fellow inmates, while into a one-time gift for his wife. He said he'd assist to change inmates while on the tarring job. Though he at first threatens to throw Andy off the roof, Hadley agrees, providing the men with cold beer before the job is finished. Red remarks that Andy may have engineered the privilege to build favor with prison guards as much as with his fellow inmates, but Red also thinks Andy did it simply to feel free. While watching a movie, Andy demands Red a large poster of Rita Hayworth. Soon after, Andy once more encountered the sisters and is brutally beaten, put into the infirmary for a month. Boggs spends a week in solitary confinement. When he comes out, Hadley and his men are waiting in his cell. They beat Boggs so badly he is crippled, transferred to a prison hospital upstate, and the sisters never bothered Andy again. When Andy is released, he finds a bunch of rocks and a poster of Rita Hayworth in his cell, presents from Red and his buddies.
I wait. I thought they weren't allowed to watch TV in prison.
They're not. They let them. They put on movies for them every once in a while.
No, because they had like small TVs. I thought I saw
I don't remember any TVs.
in the library.
No.
Not in this movie. No.
I'm
No.
seeing things.
Hell, most of this.
They didn't have.
I say
things like
most
that
of this
back
movie
then.
takes place in like the 40s and 50s when
Yeah.
TVs were a rare commodity anyway.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah. Warden Samuel Norton is impressed about Andy's finance tactics and had helped Hadley and uses a surprise cell inspection to size Andy up. Norton meets with Andy, lets him keep a Bible as an exception, and reassigns him to the prison library to assist elderly inmate Brooks Hatlin in front to allow Andy to manage financial matters for staff members, guards from other prisons, and the warden himself. There, Andy sees an opportunity to expand the decaying library, starting with asking the main legislator for funds. He writes letters and sends them every week. His financial support practice became so appreciated that even guards, when they came for inter-prison baseball matches, sought Andy's financial advice. Andy ends up doing Norton's taxes the next season. Not long afterward, Brooks is paroled after serving 50 years, threatens to kill another prisoner, Haywood, in order to avoid being paroled because Brooks is uncomfortable of leaving Shawshank and sees the library as his home. Andy is able to talk him down, and Brooks is paroled. He moves into a halfway house, but finds it impossible to adjust to life outside the prison.
It's not impossible. He just gave up.
Well, he's 50 years. He spent 50 years in the prison. Like, you spend 50 years somewhere and see if it don't become your home.
It's called
everybody moves
institutionalization.
out of their home eventually.
Not after 50 years, maybe after 18, but even then, he doesn't know anything outside that prison. The world had gone, like he said, had gone and got itself in a damn hurry. He wasn't used to the way the world is.
He
The
spent
world
50
moved a
years
lot
having
slower.
everything given or everything provided for him.
Yeah, he doesn't know what to do.
And everything told to him, like when he could use the bathroom, when he could do this, when he could do that. You can't adjust to that after
No.
50
And when he
years.
got out,
Especially at his age.
when he got out, I mean, what family did he have left?
Yeah.
The
He was
only family
completely
he had
alone.
was the
Yeah.
people that was in the prison.
Yep. He didn't know anything outside the
I
prison.
can't guarantee I could survive that.
No.
No,
I-
there's a lot of people that can't.
No. I know I wouldn't be able to.
There's a lot of military people that have that career.
He made it
life.
farther than
When
I
they get
probably
What
out-
did
would've.
he get thrown in there for again?
Murder. He was supposed to be serving a life sentence, but they paroled him after 50 years.
because they didn't see
Who did he murder?
And they didn't say. I don't know.
Yeah.
They
I
didn't
said,
think he was going to be.
there's a lot of military people that are career life military people. When they get done, they don't know what to do, and that's why
Mhm.
you have so many suicide.
Same thing.
Yep.
It's institutionalization.
Yeah.
All right. There was like only one car when or on the street since he last saw outside. Now it's crowded with people and vehicles. He eventually commits suicide. When his friends suggest that he was crazy for doing so, Red tells them that Brooks had obviously become institutionalized, essentially conditioned to be a prisoner for the rest of his life and unable to adapt to the outside world. After 6 years of writing letters, Andy receives a library donation along with a collection of old books and records. Though the legislature thinks this will be enough to get Andy on to halt his letter writing campaign, however, he is undaunted and doubles his efforts. When donations of old books and records arrive at the warden's office, Andy finds a copy of Mozart's The Marriage of Figaro among the records. He locks the guard assigned to the warden's office in the bathroom and plays the record on a excerpt over the prisoner's PA system. The entire prison seems captivated by the music. Red remarks that the voices of the woman in...
Sorry.
Give me the damn thing.
I was listening.
Good Lord, man. You're over there fidgeting and everything.
Can't help it.
Jesus. You want to read some? You know what? You're going to read after me. Jesus. I was going to give it to Karen, but I changed my mind.
Gotta give these kids something to do.
Right.
I was listening.
The entire prison seems captivated by the music. Red remarks that the voice of the woman in the intro made everyone feel free, if only for a brief time. Outside the office, Norton appears unhappy at the act of defiance and orders Andy to turn off the record player. Andy ignores him and reaches for the needle arm, then turns the volume on the phonograph up. The warden orders Hadley to break into the office, and Andy is sent immediately to solitary for 2 weeks. He later tells his friends it was the easiest time stretch ever did in the whole because he thought of Mozart's Figaro. When the other prisoners tell him how unlikely that could be, he responds, "Hope can sustain them," a concept that Red dismisses. The fuck?
You're being
Spider.
attacked.
Yeah. When the enlarged library and more materials, Andy begins to teach those inmates who want to receive their high school diplomas. After Andy is able to secure a steady stream of funding from various sources, the library is further renovated, and in memory for Brooks, in 1963, the warden profits and on Andy's knowledge of bookkeeping and launches a new service program and devises a scheme whereby he puts Shawshank inmates to work in public projects, which he won in outbidding other contractors, cheap labor for the prisoners, or from the prisoners. Occasionally, he let others get some contracts if they bribe him. Okay, where am I at here? Is this it? Okay. God, that's a lot of reading, man. It's like 5.5 pages. Yeah, 5.5 pages.
I was waiting for you to give me pages.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to give them to Madison now.
Yeah,
So
that's what I heard.
Norton privately instructs Andy to launder the money by setting up many accounts in different banks, along with several investments using a fake identity, Randall Stevens, so that if the police were to find out about the black money, they'll be looking for a man who is non-existent. He shared the details only with Red, noting he had to go to prison to learn how to be a criminal, which is true because that's where most prisoners go to become better prisoners or better criminals. Most criminals go to prison to become better criminals.
Mm-hmm.
A
Do
new
it on purpose?
No, it's just you're in there with a bunch of other criminals. You learn shit. You learn other shit. A new prisoner, Tommy Williams, is transferred to Shawshank, incarcerated for burglary in 1965. Tommy is desperate to have a good life with his wife and kid once he is paroled. Andy and Red befriend him, and Andy suggests Tommy should take up another line of work besides theft. The suggestion really gets to Tommy, and the work and he works on achieving his high school equivalency diploma. Though Tommy is a good student, he is still frustrated when he takes the general education diploma development exam itself, crumbling it up and tossing it into the trash. Andy retrieves it and sends it in anyway. Surprised, Tommy passed his GED exam. In 1966, Red tells Tommy about Andy's case. Tommy is visibly stunned at hearing Andy's story that sounded familiar to him and reveals he had a cellmate named Elmo Blatch at another prison who boasted about killing a man.
Elmo's World.
I don't think this is the same Elmo.
Which is a nickname. His name, I think, is actually Elwood.
Oh.
Oh. Is that Elmo's real name too?
No.
I don't know. I didn't ask his mom.
All right.
His
So anyway,
mom?
Emma Blatch at another prison who boasted about killing a man who was a pro golfer at a country club he worked at along with his female lover. The woman's husband, a banker convicted of the murders, was sent to prison for it. With this new information, Andy meets with the warden, expecting he could help him get another trial with Tommy as a witness. The reaction from Norton is completely contrary to what Andy hoped for. When Andy says, empathetically, that he would never reveal the money laundering schemes he had set up for Norton over the years, the warden instead becomes furious and orders him to solitary for a month. Norton later meets with Tommy alone and asks him if he'll testify on Andy's behalf. Tommy enthusiastically agrees, and the warden has him shot dead by Hadley. It's fucking terrible, too. That sucked.
Yeah.
I like that dude, so.
But you can't... I mean, I kind of... As smart as Andy is, I can't believe that he would have gone to the warden with that.
Right, exactly. You would think, yeah.
He knows what kind of man
Yeah,
that
you think he would have
is.
wrote the state or something else instead, like, you know. When
He
the
had
warden...
a lawyer.
Huh?
Start with him. He had a lawyer.
Right, exactly. Do something, you know what I mean? Why would he go straight to the warden? You know what I mean? The man who he's laundering money for.
You know what kind of man he is.
Yeah. When the warden visits Andy in solitary, he claims Tommy was killed under the guise of an escape attempt, except Andy can tell Norton is lying. Andy attempts...
Well, his lips are moving.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Andy attempts to discontinue the money laundering, but Norton counters, saying the library will be destroyed and all the materials burned. Andy will also lose his private cell and be sent to the block with the most hardened criminals. Norton gives Andy another month in solitary. He realized the warden is never going to let him leave Shawshank.
You know that guy that killed himself? Whenever he was in the store working, whenever he was saying if he wanted to get sent back, he could just shoot his manager.
Yeah.
That's
That
what
was-
you
that was
think
kinda
about
funny.
every
That was funny.
manager
That was funny.
ever. It's like, maybe if I shoot
Maybe if I
him.
shoot him, I'll get out of this. Yeah. Afterwards, Andy returns to the usual daily life at Shawshank, a seemingly broken man. One day, he talks to Red how, although he didn't kill his wife, his personality drove her away, which led her indefinitely or infidelity and death. He says if he's ever freed or escapes, he'd like to go to, I can't pronounce this.
Mexico.
They pronounced it perfectly in the movie,
Yeah,
but
they
for the
did.
life of me, I can't remember how they said it.
Sahatanagaro.
Something.
Yeah, a beach town on the Pacific coast of
A
Mexico.
pretty place.
Yeah, sure, yeah. Zia Hataneo, yeah. Pacific city of the Pacific coast. He also tells Red how he got engaged. He and his future wife went up to a farm in Buxton, Maine, to a large oak tree at the end of the stone. The two made love under the tree, after which he proposed to her. He tells Red that if he would ever be paroled, Red should look for that field and the oak tree. Hold on a second. I got a lot of papers. The field and in the oak tree. They're under a large black volcanic rock that would look
Sawia
out of
Teneo.
place. What?
Sawia Teneo.
Yeah, sure.
Sure, that's it.
Just trying to help.
Andy has buried a box he wants Red to have. Andy wouldn't tell what might be in the box, though. Later, Andy asked for a length of rope, leading Red and his buddies to believe that he will commit suicide. At the end of the day, Norton asks Andy to shine his shoes for him and puts his suit in for dry cleaning, or put his suit in for dry cleaning before retiring for the stormy night. The rest is on Madison. I did not even leave you that much, like a page there.
I was going to say, there can't be much left.
There's not. Jesus Christ.
At the next day's roll call, Andy is not accounted for and his cell is empty. At the same time, Norton becomes alarmed when he finds Andy's shoes in his shoebox instead of his own. He rushes to Andy's cell and demands an explanation. Hadley brings in Red, but Red exclaims he knows nothing, becoming increasingly hostile and paranoid. Increasingly hostile. It should say increasingly.
It should say
but it
increasingly.
Sometimes they,
mess up their grammar.
Impending doom.
Becoming increasingly hostile and paranoid, Norton starts throwing Andy's sculpted rocks around the cell, which he throws one at Andy's poster of Raquel Welch, where it used to hold Marilyn Monroe and Rita Hayworth before. The rock punches through the wall. Norton tears the poster away from the wall and finds a tunnel just wide enough for a man to crawl through. Andy dug through the wall with his rock hammer for over the past 19 years, covering it behind the posters. After hearing about Tommy's assassination, Andy decided he had stayed in Shawshank long enough and waited for a thunderstorm that will mask his blows. Blows. During the previous night's thunderstorm, Andy wore Norton's shoes to his cell, catching a lucky break when no one notices. He packed some papers and a bar of soap, Norton's suit, and a stolen ledger into a plastic bag, tied it to himself with the rope he'd asked for, and escapes through his hole. The tunnel he'd advocate.
anxiety from hell watching this.
Oh, yeah. Call it the tunnel. Yeah.
The tunnel and the pipe.
For 500 yards. Yeah.
I don't know why he didn't go to the end of the, sewer first to save him some of that crawling through the sewer. I would have.
Maybe he didn't know which way he was going out. He's probably looking for the flow out. You know what I mean?
He could have done that down by the end, though.
He wouldn't have known which end was which.
Which end would have been
go
which?
to the other end.
Then he would have to do it all over again, beat it again.
Uh-huh.
Fuck that.
He's in a
Just get-
hurry.
Don't know
Yeah.
how long the thunder will keep going.
Yeah, exactly.
Look outside. Be a weatherman.
I guess technically if he's looking that way and that's where the thunder's at, it's probably flowing that way because it's outside.
No, maybe, but
Well, not
maybe
necessarily. I mean,
because,
you can see
because
where
it
the
could go
pipe's
either
coming.
way. Pipe could go either way.
Well,
True.
I mean, when you're doing plumbing and you got a pipe that's going to be coming down, that's going to be.
It doesn't matter.
really
That few
loud.
extra feet doesn't mean shit in the mindset of 500 yards.
Yeah, exactly.
It
That-
would to me.
Maybe that was the weakest spot in the pipe that he could see.
Can you imagine if that pipe just got smaller as it went on?
Yeah,
he
what if it
didn't know.
did? Yeah.
Ooh.
Or if there was like a barred cage at the end of it, what's he going to do about that?
Well, there wouldn't be.
I
not with-
actually
not with
wrote
the
that down.
sewage.
Like normally there would be.
I actually wrote that down. There was usually bars at the end of those kind of pipes, regardless of whether it's for a prison or not.
Yeah.
Maybe he figured
And how
out
did he
to
know
get
it wasn't going
off.
to taper?
Right.
Get smaller and smaller, because usually they do.
Can you
Yeah,
imagine?
there's a few flaws. Maybe he had prints of everything, or he had looked them up. Like, because he did get a pretty extensive library by the end of it.
Yeah, he could have.
That's
gotten
fair. I mean, it's just,
schematics.
I don't know. I would have found there'd have to be another way. Like, there's just no way I could do it that way.
No, hell no.
Or like, I guess if you're desperate enough, or if you've been through everything that he's been through, maybe you just
Don't
at
give
that
a
point you're like, I don't care, I'd rather die.
I think I could probably crawl through 500 yards of shit
I think
get
that's
out.
the least of
Yeah.
it, though. That is the least of it to me. It's the tiny quarters and
for
the
500 yards.
for 500 yards, and the when I get to the end of this, can I get out?
Yeah. Because if
That's-
not, how are you going to turn around? You're literally backing up for 500 yards.
Yeah.
You're either going to die or
Yeah.
you'll probably get
And
discovered
you're going
the next
against
day.
it at that point. You're going against
Yeah.
the flow.
And I mean, you're going to get found the next day, but I don't know, man. That's a lot of ifs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because now that I'm thinking, I'm like, oh my God. Like, what if?
The anxiety for
Yeah.
me is the.
Like, what if?
It's not the shit. It's the anxiety.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
I couldn't do it.
Good. Okay. During the previous the tunnel he'd excavated led him to a space between two walls of the prison where he found a sewer main line. Using a large stone, he hits it, mingling with the lightning strikes, and bursts it, crawling through 500 yards inside the pipe and raw sewage contained in it. Andy emerged in a brook outside the walls and basks his freedom. A search team later found his rock hammer and uniform, which had been worn nearly to nothing. That morning, Andy walks to the Maine National Bank in Portland, where he had stashed Norton's money. Oh, yeah, I know who Norton is. Using the assumed identity Randall Stevens, and with all the necessary documentation, he walked out with the cashier's check. Before he left, he asked the staff to drop a package in the mail. He continued his visitations to nearly a dozen other local banks, withdrawing $370,000. The package to the New Portland Daily Bugle newspaper. I skipped a line. The package contained Norton's ledger and evidence of the corruption at Shawshank, which were delivered straight to the Portland Daily Bugle newspaper. Norton's history of illegal business made public. The district attorney in Dix Shawshank.
Indicts.
Indicts, yes.
Indicts, yeah.
Indicts.
Indicts.
Indicts. The C is silent. Indict.
Oh.
I'm gonna be indicted.
This indicts Shawshank. Hadley is arrested for murder. Norton then opens his concealed bank safe, which hadn't been touched since Andy escaped, and instead he finds a Bible he had allowed Andy to keep. Norton opens the book of Exodus and finds that the pages have been cut out in the shape of Andy's rock hammer to where he had hidden it, revealing Andy was not just a meek banker, but a man with a high IQ and planned everything. Dumbfounded, Norton walks back to the desk of his Norton walks back to his desk as the attorney and police pound on his door, takes out a small revolver, and unalives himself from under the chin. But I have a question. If the guy, whatever his name was, Norton was like holding his book and the hammer was in the book, wouldn't the book be heavier than it should be if that
No, a rock hammer is very light.
Yeah.
is it?
Yeah, it was just.
A Bible is very heavy, and a
Yeah,
rock hammer is
Bibles are
very
heavy.
light.
Yeah. I don't think you would have noticed.
Mm-mm.
I don't think you could have noticed.
No.
Especially if he's already carved out the pages.
Yeah.
You've
That's taking-
You're replacing that weight
relieved
with, yeah.
you've
Yeah,
relieved
but
a
it's
bit of
not
a bit
paper
of.
replacing paper. It's
But
Right, I get it,
rock
but-
with
but I'm telling you, a
Yeah.
rock hammer is very light, and a Bible is very heavy.
Yeah, I think
so
it's
if
only
you're
this
taking out,
big, and it's only a metal end. Like the handle's wood, so yeah, it's not gonna be very heavy.
Mhm. And he put it in the right place too, because the warden thinks he's a godly man, so he's not going to take a Bible away from, somebody reading a Bible.
Yep.
I'm surprised he didn't open the Bible.
He gave it back to him and said salvation lies within. It's
Right.
hilarious. And then he literally put it in
Yeah,
Exodus.
that little thing that he said was like what he said was that
You're right, salvation did lie within.
Yeah.
And then, he put it in the chapter of Exodus, which literally means to escape.
Clever little nods in here.
Not long after, Red received a blank postcard from Fort Hancock, Texas. God.
She's your daughter, bud.
Red takes it as a sign that Andy made it into Mexico to freedom. Red and his buddies would spend their time talking.
It's funny
about
because
Andy's exploits.
I used to live in Hancock County, and every time I'd hear it, we're like, so I can't hate on her for it because I used to be the same way.
Anyways, talking about Andy's exploits with a lot of embellishments. Does that mean compliments?
No embellishments, as in they exaggerated the truth.
Oh, okay.
Essentially,
How do they
pretty
know
much.
that?
Huh?
How do they know that?
I don't know. Just keep reading. We'll talk about it after.
Yeah.
But Red just missed his friend. A year later, at Red's next parole, he talked to the board about being rehabilitated was a made-up word, and how he regretted his actions of the past. His parole is granted this time after serving 40 years. He goes to work at a grocery store and stays at the same halfway house from Brooks' room. The same halfway house room Brooks had stayed in. He frequently walks by a pawn shop which had several guns and compasses in the window. At times he would contemplate trying to get back into prison, but he remembered the promise he made to Andy. He followed Andy's instructions, hitchhiking to Buxton, and arrived at the stone wall Andy described. Just like Andy said, there was a large black stone. Under it was a small box containing a large sum of cash and a letter to find him. He said he could use a good man who can help get things done for a project of his. Red violates his parole and leaves the halfway house, unconcerned since no one would really do an extensive manhunt for an old crook like him. He takes an express bus to Fort Hancock, where he crosses the border and into Mexico, admitting he finally feels hope. The two friends are reunited on the beach of Zihuatanejo on the Pacific coast. The Zihuatanejo.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, the end.
That's all.
Did you guys notice on the door handle, like when they were trying to break into the warden's office, it had the seal of Ohio on the door?
I did.
knob?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't know, this movie takes place at Mansfield Prison. This is where it's
In
filmed.
Ohio.
In Ohio, not Maine.
Why
It's
I
are you
never-
trying to mess with my airplane, but I can't?
because I'm not making a bunch of noise. Shut up.
I noticed it this time. It was the first time I'd ever noticed it. And I was like, oops.
I just left it on there.
Airplane.
All right. Anyway, so that's the movie. Let's get into some reviews here.
Notes.
You missed. I'll make another one, don't worry.
All right. Anyway, give me the fucking paper. Give me the fucking. God damn you.
You gave her more toys.
More toys. Yeah. All right. Anyway, let's get into our reviews.
You mean notes?
Notes. Yeah, that's what I said.
You're welcome.
Not reviews, Eric. Notes. We're not.
Son of a bitch.
Sorry, bud.
I already written it down.
All right. So,
I love the aesthetic.
I already said 2 movies with Clancy Brown winning.
I like the aesthetic.
Like the aesthetic.
That 1940s and 50s look.
Yeah, but you can
Art
tell
Deco.
like that prison looks aged. Like,
No, I mean like before you get into the prison, the suits
oh yeah,
and the
yeah,
hats.
yeah. Oh yeah.
and the,
I love the 40s and 50s,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the
Um,
prison itself, though, like Mansfield Prison is a very beautiful prison. Like the outside, the castle-like structure of it. And,
So, did you catch the part where they said something about a shitty pipe dream?
Mhm. There's a lot of things that's actually in the novel that are in the movie too, and that is one of them. And that's actually kind of one of the things that puts it in Andy's head when he says you know get rid of your shitty pipe dream, and then he starts thinking about the system has to lead outside.
Right.
So, and that's another thing. Like Red was Irish in the book, like I talked about. That one line that he says about, he says, "Why do they call you Red?" And he says, "I guess it's because I'm Irish." That's actually in the book, but it's meant for because I'm Irish.
Because he actually is Irish.
Right, but in this they left it in because, as a joke. But of course he brings the character to life, so
He brought up a good point. How often do you really look at a man's shoes?
Oh yeah.
Like nowadays, maybe more so, but back then, everybody had dark, shiny shoes. So how often do you really look at a man's shoes?
True. You wouldn't really care.
Like back then, they weren't wearing vibrant colors and stuff like that.
The only time I probably look at another man's shoes is if I'm in the shitter and somebody next to me is blowing it up.
you do that too when someone's in the bathroom.
You're just like, damn, dude.
I'm gonna find you later, I promise.
I'm gonna know I'm gonna point you out just by the shit. You're wearing them new Air Jordans. I see. Red and white. Gotcha.
I laughed kind of at the beginning, and I know it's not supposed to be funny, but like right before he beats up that fat guy at the beginning.
Oh.
When he's like, I'm not supposed to be here, and some random guy yells out, and he's like, me neither, you guys run this place like a fucking prison.
No, because I started laughing at that part too. Like, before they started beating him up, I was like,
yeah, and when they start beating him up, you're like, oh. But right when he said that, I was laughing because that was pretty funny to me.
I'm pretty sure I was still laughing whenever they were beating him up.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Poor guy.
And I loved every time they said everybody in here is innocent.
Yeah, everybody in here is
really
innocent,
funny.
didn't you know?
Mm-hmm.
Lawyer fucked me.
Lawyer fucked me.
Lawyer fucked me.
And the other, when
what
he's
you doing
gonna
here?
save,
Lawyer fucked me.
when he's gonna save him money, like when he's trying to tell him, give the money to your wife.
Yeah.
He's like, why should I believe some banker? Well, you just said why.
Yeah, because he's a banker.
He's not in there for like fucking around with his banking stuff. He's in there for killing his wife. So maybe you should believe him about the banking
He
stuff.
was a vice president of a bank, so
Yeah, maybe he knows what he's talking about.
Some hotshot banker.
Yeah.
I didn't have much notes. That's all the notes I had, really.
all the notes I really had was, sad about Brooks and piece of shit Warden killing Thomas.
This is one of those movies that, if you haven't seen the movie, I don't know why you're even watching this video, because I'm pretty sure about 90% of America has seen Shawshank Redemption.
I'd never seen it
the first
before.
time I've actually watched it where I've watched all of it. You
Really?
know what I mean?
You've never just sat down and watched the whole movie?
No.
I've seen this movie.
before.
Seen
Dozens
bits
of
and pieces
times,
of
yeah.
it, but I never got the chance to really sit down and just.
This is one of the
watch
movies,
it.
like, I grew up on this movie because my stepdad, he loves two movies. The Shawshank Redemption and Forrest Gump. Those are his two favorite movies of all time, hands down.
Green Mile is a good one too, though.
Yeah,
He likes The Green Mile also. They like movies like, but then again, you got to think these were movies that were made back whenever movies were great.
Yeah.
The Shawshank Redemption was in theaters. It was a great movie in theaters. But nowadays, man, like, you've got Marvel movies.
Yep.
Like, you don't get good cinematic movies like this anymore. You want me to throw that one too?
Not yet. You gotta wait.
Fine.
So Boggs play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Dumbass.
For sure. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Well, it's funny because it almost made what's his name, the lead guard or whatever, Clancy Brown. It almost made him likable whenever he beat the fuck out of Boggs. You're like, yeah, motherfucker,
Yeah.
what's up? Like,
Or
you know what I mean? Like,
but really, he
Like
did
on
it
the
for
rooftop,
selfish
too.
reasons.
oh, for sure. Yeah.
But I mean, yeah.
You kind of like him on the rooftop too. After he gives them all beers, he's kind of sitting there, just kind of chilling out with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you kind of get those like, oh, well, maybe he's not so bad, and then he shoots
right back.
and then
Oh, no,
he shoots
he's-
one
he's
dude. And you're like, oh, what a
definitely-
fucking douche.
He's definitely
Yeah.
not a good person.
Yeah.
At all.
You started liking him, and then right when he kills Tom, she's like, "Yeah, fuck you, dude."
Yeah. There's so many moments where you do get to see some brightness and some humor, like after he comes back from being in the hole after playing the music, and then Bill Sadler's like, oh, couldn't you have played something good?
Like Hank Williams or
Yeah.
something. I love that part in the library where he finally gets to
He
listen
does
to
get
Hank
some
Williams.
Hank
He's sitting there
Williams,
singing it.
and he's like hanging out there, like singing it and kind of dancing a little
Like,
bit.
you.
Yeah, yeah. He's like, oh, yeah. Sounds
That's
like
good.
a howling dog. Yeah, that's pretty much all the notes I had too. Like I said, I didn't have a lot.
It's
And
hard
what
to
I
take
did
notes
have
on a
really-
movie like this because this is a movie that you have to invest your attention to.
I have a
Well,
random
and that, and
note.
there's not really much to note.
There's not like if
mean-
you don't watch the movie, you're not gonna know. Like we can say whatever, but like you need to watch it. And no, if you've seen the Shawshank Redemption, if we talk about it or whatever, you know exactly what we're talking about.
I mean, you could note down like a lot of his smart moves that he does, like the hammer in the Bible, the chisel when he chisels.
Well, it's
all
a
the
movie
rocks.
that doesn't leave a lot of questions by the end.
I would
Yeah.
say most of what I want to say, I would rather say like in my review of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. Well, usually notes are meant for questions like, why did this happen? Why did that happen? This is a very, very tight script.
Well, yeah, there's not a lot of room for error.
No, there's not.
There's not much. We talked about the pipe, which to me is the biggest one.
Probably the biggest error. I would say his whole escape plan is the biggest error because there are so many ways it could go wrong.
Yeah, how does he know what's behind that wall?
Exactly.
How does he know where that pipe leads and what's behind? I mean, there's so many.
Right.
things.
Well, no, don't be wrong. I think that him digging through the wall, whatever. Like, he gets there like, oh, shit, this goes nowhere. Okay, fine. But this is what also tells me, did he have a print? He had to have had a print of some kind to know what was behind that wall.
Most of this goes back to like the Alcatraz escape. You know, who I can't remember. It's like two brothers and another guy.
Yeah, it was like a random dude.
They dug a hole through the wall and then they escaped through the pipe or along the pipelines and out to the water and so on and so forth. So a lot of his escape on this was based off of the escape of Alcatraz.
No, that happened. Well, yeah, but like it wasn't nearly as. Yeah, it's sort of.
Like I said, they dug a hole through the wall, followed the pipelines, and went to the shore and made it make raft.
Yeah, but their wall was literally to the outside, and then they followed a pipe.
Do you
No,
think?
was it?
Do you think that
They crawled the pipe.
after?
No?
No.
You think after Andy escaped, they outlawed posters?
They might have.
They wouldn't have had time. The Oregon shot himself.
That's true.
No, but yeah, the Alcatraz. No, their wall went straight to an inner wall that had pipelines.
I'd have to look at that shit again.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
it wasn't straight to the outside.
Another one dying. Yeah, fuck him. Whatever.
You should look at the one I sent you. I don't know if it'll.
I need to.
I don't know if it'll replace them or not.
I don't know. I need to get something to run. Just cord, so we have to fuck them.
Those one I sent you had cords, and they
Yeah.
look a lot like those. They're just rectangles.
Yeah. Anyway, so has everybody got through their notes?
Yeah, I'm done.
All right, let's review this bitch.
Let's review this bitch.
Now you can throw your.
Now I can throw it. Let's aim for the camera. Come on, baby. No, that was no good.
Are we gonna start a collection of just paper over there?
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing with the paper from now on?
Now when I buy it.
Almost. That
was
was
there.
pretty. That's probably
That was
the
there.
closest.
Hold on, everybody. I want to try. Well, I've only got 3 pieces left. You guys fight each other for it.
Rock, paper, scissors.
I'm good.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Rock,
I'm
paper,
good.
scissors.
If Eric wants it, you want it?
That was
What?
bad.
What
You
am I
want to
supposed
try
to
it?
do?
You're supposed to try and hit the camera.
You got to hit
like,
the camera.
You're trying to
Gotta
hit
make it
the-
look cool. It's coming at the camera.
Yeah. We're trying to be cool.
What are you? He's crumbing it up in a weird way. He's like folding it
I was
as
going
he.
to make a goose out of it.
A goose. Like, "Eh."
Yeah.
Okay, theirs was the best. Probably.
Yeah, because it whizzed
Yeah.
by it. Yeah. You could slow that down just like in
Yeah.
editing.
Doot,
Like,
doot, doot, doot.
Yeah.
Oh. All right.
That's
Passes
fine.
it.
All right. Let's start with Eric. Give us your review on The Shawshank
I
Redemption.
really like the fact that they took a lot, like I said, the Alcatraz. They took a lot of stuff from the Alcatraz escape. His intellectual, how much intellectual he had. He'd take
Intellect?
back- yeah, intellect, whatever. See, he's smarter than me. Anyways, how he put the hammer into the book, the Bible, and how he,
In Exodus.
yeah. And
He had 20 years to plan all this out.
And then every time he chiseled the rocks, he'd put it in his pockets and let it, that way there wasn't any trace.
How did
I
you
like
get it all off the floor without any itty bitty crumbs?
I mean, I'm sure he
I'm sure them floors weren't exactly the
Yeah.
cleanest. As long as he made it look decent, he
wasn't like extra crumbs. Plus, they seen that he chiseled rock in his,
Oh yeah, I guess that's true.
so there's another
right.
thing.
His floors
He
are
hid
probably
everything
dirt.
in plain sight.
Yeah. And then, I love the era, the time of the era. the score, the acting was great. That's spot on. So I gave it a 9 out of 10. There was really nothing cons that I could find other than the pipe. But that's literally, I mean, the only thing bad about it. I give it a 9 out of 10.
Okay. Addison?
Ditto. I'm not good at explaining things, but I like the music too. It sets the mood. That's weird. I can't say it like that. Anyways, yeah, it's I like the movie like a lot. I didn't think I was gonna like it either because I don't really like sitting in one place movies. But I don't like action movies either.
And yet she loves Die Hard, one of the actioniest action movies of all actions.
And he's sitting in one place the whole time. I don't know
So
what
maybe
I like.
All right, so what do you
like
give
those
it?
Movies.
Oh, me?
She gave it a 9.
Oh, I gave it an 8.5.
Oh, 8.5.
Oh.
I thought you said it ditto.
I thought you did too, but
Oh.
I just wanted to clarify.
She wanted to make it a little
Fair
different.
enough.
All right, Karen, what do you got?
So, I said aesthetic first right off because that's my favorite, like, era of movies. Anytime there's something in, like, that Art Deco look.
Yeah, the
I
1940s
love
and
it.
shit.
Love that shit.
Yeah.
I would say, so, like, the acting, obviously, spot on, great. Nothing wrong with it at all. But I think the use of music in this movie is very interesting because there's not a lot of it. Not a lot to speak of. Not even just a thematic use of music. There's very little to speak of, and what is there is very downplayed. So I like that they used music almost to prove a point or as part of the acting almost. But my absolute favorite part about this movie is that how his plan was hidden in plain sight, even to the viewer. If you were paying attention, you could have put his plan together too.
Yeah.
You found, he had a secret identity.
Yeah.
That had money. He had this I mean, just if you were paying attention, you could have put his plan together too if you really wanted to, or if you really, really paid attention. So he put this plan out there just for the viewer too. And I find that just kind of amazing.
I said that too. I said that Andy, he's one clever fucker.
Yeah, I mean,
because like even by the end of it, even you're like, holy shit, you know what I mean? Like I knew, like obviously watching it this time, I knew all that.
Yeah,
but
you go back to watch this a second time, and you really notice how in plain view his plan is, how in your face and in anybody's face it is, like how there it is. So to me, this movie is near perfect because to me the only thing that was wrong is that
that's the whole.
he's trying to show me not right now, dude. I'm in the middle of this.
I know. I'm waiting. I'm just putting it out there.
But like, we're talking about the pipe thing. That's the only thing, in my opinion, and it's not even a huge thing. It's sort of just there, and it could have gone either way, sure, but I don't know. It's not that huge of a thing. So it's a near perfect movie. I'm gonna go 9.5.
Damn, that's pretty hostile. I think for me, this movie, it slides into first base with ease, man. What is it?
And the pipeline that they followed.
Oh,
that was like the hole from their room into the interior exterior wall.
Gotcha. So this movie, it really lands. It always has. It's just a classic fucking movie. What do you say about the Shawshank Redemption? It's been around since '94, and it's still a lot of people's, especially older generations, favorite fucking movie. And it's that movie for a reason, because it's just a good movie. It's solid. The writing is solid. The acting is solid. It's funny at times. It's very serious. It's well acted. The music's great. It's just a great Stephen King adaptation. One thing I always said about Stephen King is some of his books, some of his like nonfiction, not horror movies or books or whatever are better than his horror stuff, because like this and The Green Mile, like Those are great fucking movies.
Well, they're
And
just
great adaptations.
they're amazing for the same reason that his horror stuff is amazing. It's the human element that he
Maybe
does
we
so
just
well.
got shittier directors for his horror movies because let's face it, he's had some.
If
some
you read
web-
his books, it's the human element that he captures.
yeah, like Storm of the Century. If you've ever seen that, it's like 4.5 hours long.
Yep.
But it is fucking amazing.
It's good.
It is so good.
In his books and in his stories, it's the human element that drives the story
Yeah.
and does so well.
But I think for me, there's a lot of things about it to love. There's not much to hate. Morgan Freeman narrates it. You don't get better than that. I think that what's his face who plays Andy Dufresne,
Tim Robbins.
Tim Robbins, yeah, is awesome. I think everybody is great. Clancy Brown, everybody. So, but it's still not my favorite movie. This is my review, not everybody else's. What everybody else thinks of it. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to say, like Madison, I'm going to give it an 8.5. I love it, but it's not my favorite.
8.75.
8.9. But you were close.
That's close though. That's good. That's a good score.
Mhm.
Let's get into
What
our
was
Rotten
your-
Tomatoes.
What's everybody's first Tim Robbins movie? I'm just curious.
The
Andy
guy
Dufresne.
plays Andy Dufresne.
I've
Oh
seen
man.
Him before. I don't
I've seen him in a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna say
Mine's
it might be this.
Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck.
Oh yeah, definitely.
yeah, it
He
might
played
not.
Phil.
Yeah, it might be Howard the Duck.
So every time I see him, all I can hear is saying is "Me, Phil." You know, like-
either this
Paul
Howard
Paul,
the Duck
Paul
Paul.
or what's that movie where he invents the hula hoop? Isn't that him?
he played Einstein in something, but I never saw that one. IQ. He played Einstein in IQ.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember. Anyway, but I also remember him in War of the Worlds where he was crazy.
Yeah.
All right, let's get some Rotten Tomatoes. 2 meters.
Yeah, but I mean the Alcatraz escape. If you really look into like how they did it, pretty damn smart. Like they used the temperature of the water to help them.
How?
I can't remember. It's like something with
They
the
planned
heat-
it around the
heat-
time of year.
Well, it's the
knowing
heat
what
with the
the-
water and
yeah.
the salt in the water was
Yeah.
helping deteriorate the
Can
walls.
you see it, Madison?
know. No.
Good.
And they used spoons
All right.
to dig.
All right. You ever give me your critic score?
92.
96.
Eric is going to take this 91%.
Ah,
Really?
Very close,
Wow, I figured
91%.
that'd be a critical darling.
pretty much
Critics
is.
consensus.
Anything above 90 is a critical
The
darling.
Shawshank Redemption is an uplifting,
I've seen
deeply
higher.
satisfying prison drama with sensitive direction and fine promises or performances. Yeah, I guess. All right, audience score
92. Fuck
Son
you.
of a bitch. 94.
94.
89. Not changed. 89.
What'd you all
Stick
say
with
now?
92.
89.
You would have had it if you'd have stuck with your original score. It is a 98%.
Really?
Yeah, 98%
Ah.
audience score. I am not going to give any poor reviews on this because we're running low on time. So we're going to jump right into trivia on this one because I'm sure there's quite a bit probably.
New airplane.
Oh my God, I don't need a new airplane.
Sweet ass trivia with Karen.
I'm gonna skip the ones where it's like, this person was gonna be in it and all that shit. Andy and
Who was
Red's.
supposed to be in it? I want to hear that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I want to hear that.
Okay. I figure that's like the most boring stuff. So, all right. Clint Eastwood, Harrison
Is that
Ford,
you? Yeah.
Paul Newman, Gene Hackman, Robert Redford, and Robert Duvall were considered for the part of Red.
They were all white.
Well, in the original novel,
I know. Fuck
Red
them.
is a middle-aged white Irishman
race swap that
with
shit.
graying
Can't
red
fight, you're
hair.
white.
However, Frank Darabont always had Morgan Freeman in mind for the role because of his authoritative presence, demeanor, and deep voice. Andy and Red's opening chat in the prison yard in which Red is throwing a baseball took 9 hours to shoot. Morgan Freeman threw the baseball for the entire 9 hours
do know
without
this.
a word of complaint. He showed up for work the next day with his arm in a sling.
Yep.
Stephen King never cashed his $5,000 check for the rights to the film. He only charged $5,000 because him and Frank Darabont are friends. Because he adapted another of King's short stories, The Woman in the Room in 1984. King has a
Yeah,
policy.
but think of all the residuals he's getting from the movie. He doesn't need to cash that check.
Well,
That dude's making bank anyway.
He had
What's $5,000 to him?
he had a reason. Where was it? King has a policy of allowing aspiring filmmakers to adapt his short stories for $1. He was impressed with the woman in the room, and he and Darabont maintained a pen pal relationship over the years. Several years after the movie came out, King got the check framed and mailed it back to Frank Darabont with a note inscribed, "In case you ever need bail money. Love, Steve." This is Morgan Freeman's favorite film of his own. The mugshots of a young-looking Red that are attached to his parole papers are actually pictures of Morgan Freeman's younger son, Alfonso Friedman. Alfonso also had a cameo in the movie as a con shouting, fresh fish today, we're reeling them in." A year after.
Was that him?
Mhm.
Was he the guy that was like doing the...
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did know that was his son in the
I didn't know that.
parole picture. I didn't know that he was in the
That's what I'm
movie.
saying. I didn't know that. I didn't know either, actually.
I knew he was in the parole picture. I didn't know that he was in the movie.
That's cool.
A year after the Shawshank Redemption, he appeared as a fingerprint technician in another Morgan Freeman, 7. Stephen King has considered this to be one of his favorite film adaptations based on his own work. Despite being widely considered as one of the greatest movies of all time, it didn't receive a single Oscar win, though it was nominated for 7, including Best Picture. Clancy Brown said that he received several offers from real-life corrections officers to work with him in order to make his portrayal of Captain Hadley more realistic. He turned them all down because Hadley was an evil character and he didn't want to misrepresent real correction officers. The film's initial gross of $18 million could not even cover the cost of its production. It did another $10 million in the wake of its Oscar nominations, but the film was still deemed to be a box office failure. Morgan Freeman has cited the film's difficult name as a major reason for this, because back then, when there was no internet to speak of, word of mouth played a much bigger role in any film's success than later on. Jon Favreau auditioned for the role of Fat Ass. He later told Empire magazine that this was the worst audition he ever did, and it encouraged him to try and lose weight. Jeff Bridges, Tom Hanks, Kevin Costner, Tom Cruise, Matthew Broderick, Nicolas Cage, Johnny Depp, and Charlie Sheen were all considered for the part of Andy Dufresne.
I don't like
Can
any
you
of them.
imagine just Charlie?
None of those.
Charlie
I don't like the idea of any of those.
Hanks actually turned it down. He was
Hanks
offered
would be
it.
the only one that I could maybe see him playing the role.
I don't like his voice for it.
Right.
It's
yeah.
too.
Yeah, it's too up.
squeaky.
Yeah.
I
like
Andy's
Tom-
very
yeah.
toned down, very calm.
Yeah, it's very calm, and he's just
He turned it down because he was committed to play Forrest Gump. However, Hanks did play in Darabont's next film, The Green Mile, also an adaptation of King's work. Kevin Costner also liked the script a lot, but was then embroiled in the filming of Waterworld. Oops.
Yeah, oops. That was a flop.
Yeah.
And a fucking massive fucking disaster of a
He would have
movie.
been, I feel like, wrong to just somehow. He just wouldn't. He would have been off for Andy. I mean, he's soft spoken, but he commands a presence about him.
Yeah, he's got a presence about him. Like,
Yeah.
whereas Andy Dufresne, or Tim Robbins,
You don't
has
see
this,
him
like,
coming.
He's got this very meek kind of demeanor.
That's what
you know
I mean.
what I mean?
You don't. It helps
he's just
that-
kind of
it helps him-
waddles
It
around.
helps him
you know?
to hide in plain sight.
Yeah.
You don't expect it. The last word spoken in the movie is hope. That is the major theme of the film. All the pictures in Andy's cell, except for the big posters, were handpicked by Tim Robbins. The American Humane Society monitored the filming of... This is my favorite piece of trivia. The American Humane Society monitored the filming of scenes involving Brooks's crow. During the scene where he fed it a maggot, the AHS objected on the grounds that it was cruel to the maggot and required that they use a maggot that had died from natural causes. One was found and the scene was filmed. Years later, Frank Darabont admitted that he had killed the maggot himself.
So stupid. A maggot, dude. A maggot.
The character Andy Dufresne had a cameo appearance in Apt Pupil, another Stephen King novella. Andy handled the investments for Doosander, the Nazi in hiding. Voted number 4 on Empire Magazine's 500 Greatest Movies of All Time. The man sitting behind Gil Bellows, Tommy Williams on the bus, is Dennis Baker, a former warden of the Ohio State Reformatory where the primary filming took place. Initially, Frank Darabont was planning to make his directorial debut with Child's Play, another type of horror movie, although he wasn't particularly enthusiastic about the prospect of doing so. Instead, he decided to adapt Stephen King's atypical short story. The resulting script soon became a hot ticket around Hollywood.
Could you imagine if he directed the Child's Play movie? How much different would it have been?
I think it would have been darker,
It would have
honestly.
been great.
Yeah.
Like, I love the first Child's Play, but I think if Frank Darabont fucking directed
I think it would have been a lot darker.
Oh, it would've
I don't know
been-
how you
I think it
go
would have been
much
better,
darker,
honestly.
but
Yeah.
Yeah. Attracting interest from stars like Nicolas Cage and Tom Cruise. Red says he has no idea what the ladies in the Marriage of Figaro are singing about. Actually, they are composing a letter to the husband of one of them, inviting him to meet with the other in order to expose his infidelity. Which is kind of interesting since Andy's in there
And he's in
because
there
of...
for that reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the $35,000 that Captain Hadley inherited from his brother in the spring of 1949 had the same buying power as approximately $387,000 as of May of 2021. Meaning Andy Dufresne was able to help the hardest screw that ever walked a turn at Shawshank State Prison keep nearly $400,000 tax-free. When the police came to arrest Norton, you can see the state of the seal of Ohio on the doorknob as it's turning. Thomas F. Wilson, best known as Biff in Back to the Future, was considered for the role of Captain Hadley, but wasn't interested in playing a villain again and declined.
I don't blame him.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, Tim Robbins, who plays Andy, almost was cast as Biff, but the producers preferred Wilson and Robbins was passed over. I can't imagine him as Biff.
Oh. Well,
Yeah, I've seen him play kind of a dick.
I say he can play a dick, so
Yeah,
yeah.
wasn't he like
I
one
could
of
see it.
the anchors and Anchorman in that fight scene? He
Yeah.
had like a lisp and he
Mhm.
was kind of a dick in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he could play. He could have played Biff.
Yeah,
He's
he
got
could-
that.
I think
he's
he
got
could.
tall. That if he put it on.
Oh
the
yeah, he's
performance.
like 6 foot.
Yeah, he's
something.
fucking tall. So like, but if he did, I think he could pass for Biff.
Yeah.
But I like the other dude that did it more. So.
Oh yeah. Throughout the movie, the harmonica is used as a symbol for hope. Andy relates music to hope, for which Red says the prison is no place for hope, and that he had quit playing the harmonica after being incarcerated. Andy later gifts him with a new harmonica, attempt to renew his hope. Near the end of the film, when Red decides to break his parole to find Andy's tree, a harmonica is introduced into the film's score the exact moment the tree clearly appears on screen.
You know, I saw him with that harmonica, and I'm like, I'd like to have a nice harmonica like that.
Yeah.
And I would almost try to learn to use it.
Yeah.
Almost.
Almost.
Try to learn.
Almost.
I might try to, but I probably get on somebody's nerves with it. Like, would you fucking stop?
Stop it.
Like, but like, I never understood how people learn how to play the harmonica. Like, are there musical notes? Like, how do you measure notes on a harmonica?
I couldn't tell you.
So,
ways
yeah.
breathe in, breathe out.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying, like, are there certain notes you can hit on a harmonica? Like,
Yeah.
I never understood, like, maybe different pitches, I suppose.
I would assume, yeah. And you
I mean,
hit those pitches
there's
with the way you're
like,
breathing
because it's
in
not
and
like a
out.
flute where you put your finger on certain
Yeah.
holes.
Yeah.
Well, like some of them you see they put their hand on the backside of it.
Yeah, and they like do this and everything. And I'm like, it's like it would be like a cool hobby. It would be a great because it's a hobby you could just like an instrument you could take everywhere. So it would just be cool background music.
Yeah.
I love the harmonica.
The $370,000 Andy stole from the warden in 1966 may not seem like a huge amount for almost a 20-year incarceration, but adjusted for inflation to 2020, Andy stole the equivalent of $2,927,899.
Holy shit! That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And then I didn't understand at the end why he was sanding a boat that had been beached. What's with the boat?
I you know what I
That's
didn't
his
understand?
project.
You know what I didn't understand about that? He's been out for how long, and that's as far as he's gotten with that boat.
Right? I'm like, what? I'm like looking at it had been 10 years that had passed.
With how much?
That's
money
what I
he
mean.
had,
He's been-
but I'm looking at that fucking boat like.
he
What are you
could've
That's
doing
why
bought
with
he
this
needs,
boat? Like,
that's why he needs help. That's why he needs Red help.
I
Because he's
didn't
only
understand
sanded
what-
like that one
I just
part.
didn't understand what
in 10
exactly he
years.
was doing with this boat. Like, I'm like, so what are you gonna?
Well, he said he wanted to.
Why is
buy
it on
an-
the beach?
Well, he can't put it in the ocean. It's probably got holes
No, but
and
you
shit
could
in it.
take it somewhere else. Like, why is it just sitting on the end of the on the?
I don't know
fucking-
if a tide comes and he's losing
Yeah, it's
it.
gone. That boat is gone.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
I don't know.
where do you feel like sanding your boat today? Just put it out by the water. You
Yeah.
know, we'll move it back in later. No, fuck. Like, just leave it in your garage.
Maybe it was just the last shot they wanted it to be.
Yeah, like,
like,
it's got to be beautiful. He's
gotta
going to be sanding the boat, you know.
Yeah.
Or it could just be a boat that's just sitting there.
I just didn't
And
understand.
Andy's just kicking the sand throwing rocks or something into the ocean.
I don't know.
Sitting in the
It's
back of
just
boat fishing.
to me, he's been gone for 10 years, and like you'd think he'd show up and he'd have some sort of part of his business running.
Or well, not
And
even
te-
that,
and
but
with-
like show him
With $3 million?
Yeah,
Like,
well, not even. Maybe he does, but we didn't see it, so we don't know. Like
I
all we know is
guess.
he's standing
Yeah,
a
maybe.
shitty boat on the beach.
Yeah.
Why? Like, where's this? Did you ever get his business off the ground? Like,
That-
I
yeah.
have questions.
You have
Can we do it?
questions?
Can we do a sequel to this movie?
A sequel?
Just about like Andy and Red and their business ventures and stuff. Maybe it turned into like, give me a Rick and Morty show,
Oh,
like,
God.
but about Red and
Bubba Gump Shrimp Company.
Andy and Red. Like, yeah, anything. Maybe that's what it became. I don't know. I'm just saying. Give me
It's a
some
household
resolution.
name.
Like, did for all we know, Red died the next day. He was old.
That's terrible. Don't put that in my head.
Just saying.
Frank.
Got to the beach and
talking
cried.
about the ending, Frank Darabont preferred the end of the film with Red searching for Andy. In fact, if he had been allowed to shoot the ending as he wanted, the closing shot would have been Red on the bus heading for the field. Darabont wanted to end on an open, ambiguous note, but Castle Rock insisted on a reunion between the two to please audiences.
I think it worked better.
I agree. I don't think I would have liked an ambiguous
because then I'm just
ending.
gonna have more fucking questions. Well, did they ever meet?
Well, not just that. This whole movie has really been, I hate to put it this way, but it's really been a love story between two men.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
about
a loving,
two men's
a loving
friendship.
friendship.
Yeah, a
between
loving
two
friendship
men.
between two guys.
And the reason I put it that way is because they only had each other for so long.
20 years.
Yeah.
They spent together.
So they mean a lot to each other.
yeah,
Is all I'm
I
saying.
agree.
And
Yeah.
to end it without telling you what happened to the two of them would have been a slight to the viewer.
Right, exactly. And so this is the one time where I'm saying the studios stepped in and it was a good idea.
Yeah.
Because don't leave it open. Like a lot of movies leave shit open ended. Why?
Yeah.
Just give us some resolution.
If it makes sense to do so, then do it. But
Yeah, right.
in this
If
case,
you're
I
gonna
don't think
make
so.
a sequel to it, then
Yeah, like
Yeah,
maybe
like that-
something like
that
that.
one would
Or
be if you
for
left a
sure,
sequel
like
with
even if
that.
it doesn't show it, for sure that is
Yeah,
what
you
happened.
know that. Yeah,
You know what I mean? But in
Yeah.
this case, if they would have done that, it wouldn't have worked.
right.
No.
So
So instead of showing us a teary reunion, the film observes it from a distance. Darabont's respond to Castle Rock's demands. That's a perfect resolution. That's perfect.
It's good, yeah.
Between when Andy is making his escape, he crawls through a drainage tunnel filled with raw sewage. The sludge was actually a mixture of chocolate syrup, sawdust, and water. And 2 decades later, the pipes still smell like cocoa.
really.
Bob Gunton pointed out, because they still have like pieces of the pipe in Mansfield for people to see, like they have parts
Yeah.
from the movie and stuff. Bob Gunton pointed out that Tim Robbins' towering height 6'5" narrowed down the number of actors who could play Warden Norton, since Andy's escape plan is dependent on stealing and wearing Norton's suit. Gunton was 6'2".
Was he really?
Yeah,
He looked. They made him look so short in the movie, though.
they did.
Who?
Like he did not look the warden.
Well, they did. They did a
He did
lot of
not
that.
look tall.
They did a lot of that because a lot of the actors were actually almost the same height as him, or like taller in some cases. So they did a lot of like down shoots with cameras and stuff.
Well, I know the part where he comes into the cell and sizes up Andy. I noticed I was like, he is like almost as tall as Andy. Like, how is that even possible?
Mm-hmm.
So, because he'd have to be taller than maybe even I don't know. I bet Clancy Brown's pretty tall. He looks tall.
Yeah.
So
I think that he was one of them that they tried to keep from like having them next to each other.
next to
and
each
stuff.
other, yeah.
There were numerous deleted scenes from the film, mainly cut for pacing purposes, including a sequence where the convicts find Jake dead in a field sometime after Brooks has left the prison, and the convicts give Jake a funeral and burial. This deletion ends up providing a subtle thematic shift, as scripted with both Brooks and Jake represent the dangers of institutionalization. But as depicted on screen, Jake ends up foreshadowing Andy's successful escape in the climax of the film.
I like that more. Don't kill Jake.
Clancy
Yeah.
Brown 6'3".
Yeah.
Okay.
Tommy's young wife visiting him, their conversations providing a more vivid illustration into why Tommy decides to turn his life around and approaches Andy to work on getting his GED. After Andy's escape, an unfortunate guard is sent into his tunnel to see where it leads, and when he sees the sewage pipe broken and smells the overwhelming odor of shit, he vomits loudly. Red hears this happening from his own cell and cracks up laughing. He's sent to solitary confinement for 2 weeks, where he continues laughing, thus learning for himself what Andy meant in the aftermath of the loudspeaker incident, that there was easy time in the hole. Red's feelings on the 1960s after he is paroled, as well as a panic attack in the grocery store that sends him running for a bathroom cubicle that calms him down because it reminds him of his cell, thus making his choice to find the tree and rock more meaningful because it runs counter to Brooks's choice. When the warden flips through Andy's Bible after his escape, this is what I was talking about, he finds the cutout space where Andy's rock hammer was hidden starting in the book of Exodus, which tells the story of the Hebrew slaves escaping from Egypt. Exodus literally means to escape or depart. Red describes Andy's dream as a shitty pipe dream. During his escape to live that dream, Andy crawls through a pipe filled with raw sewage. The film is generally faithful to Stephen King's novella. Here are some of the differences. The novella specifies that Andy smuggled $500 into the prison in his rectum, exactly how he pays Red for the agreed-upon price of $10 of the rock hammer. Andy orders a second rock hammer from Red in the novella after the first one wears down. This is not incurred in the film. Multiple wardens oversee the prison in the novella. They are combined into the character of Norton in the film. For example, in the novella, the warden who agrees to mail Andy's letters and the warden who treats him so harshly at the end are not the same person.
That would explain a lot, like the tonal shift with the warden and all that. So that does make sense. Honestly, would it have been better?
No, I think because, in my opinion, the way that they shot this movie, you see the warden giving him things to sort of give him this sense of fake,
fake trust
sense of security.
And security, yeah.
And then I giveth and I can taketh away.
Exactly.
You know. In addition to Red being a white Irishman, the novella also gives details of his crime that the film doesn't. In the film, Hadley and his guards beat up Boggs as a favor to Andy for all his financial tips. In the novella, Andy uses the money he smuggled into the prison to pay thugs to do it. Tommy's story is also slightly different. He tells Andy that his old cellmate bragged that the double murder he committed was pinned on a lawyer rather than a banker, and Andy latches on to the idea that the two professions were commonly confused at the time. Tommy is also not killed in the novella. After agreeing not to testify on Andy's behalf, he is sent to another prison. The ending receives perhaps the most significant changes. The narrative Red gives of the time Andy spent in prison is different. In the novella, Andy spent 26 years in prison before his ultimate escape. In the film, he spent 19. In the film, Red narrates, Andy did it in less than 20. In addition, Red's narrative of the story of Andy Dufresne is a memoir Red has written in Shawshank after Andy's escape, and when he is surprisingly paroled, he leaves the prison with the manuscript and concludes it with the confidence that he is going to travel to Mexico to find Andy. In the film, there is no indication that Red has put his account on paper. When Red is released from Shawshank prison, he finds a package Andy left for him in a hayfield. In the film, he simply goes directly to it, while in the novella, his hunt for the appropriate hayfield is a fairly substantial piece of the plot. The final scene of Andy sanding a boat on the beach as Red meets him again is not present in the novella, which ends with Red on his way south to meet Andy. The matter of whether they found each other again is left ambiguous in the novella.
So Frank Darabont wanted to end the movie like the novella.
Yeah. Well, but the novella has a different tone,
right,
than the movie. I mean, there is that sort of love between the two men. But I think that it would have been a complete slight. The way that the novella ends ambiguously, you have that hope that, because of the way King writes.
Right.
King writes that human element. So you as the reader,
feel hope for it.
As the reader,
you feel, I hope he finds him.
Well, as the reader, you're going, they're going to find each other. Yeah, they'll find each other. It's no problem. But, as a viewer, I think if you left that ambiguous, you would have not had that same.
I get it. Yeah.
Feeling.
Yeah.
But
that hope the end in the movie was like, it was that ending that was like, oh man, that's a feel good movie. Mm-hmm. That's what they turned the novella into, was like a feel good movie. Yeah. Instead, the novella was a little more like, well, all you have at the end is hope, and that's what you had at the end, was that you hoped that Red found Andy at the end. Mm-hmm. So I get it. I get the differences, I suppose.
Yeah, you were fairly sure he would, and you were...
but at the same time, but like, you had that hope that he did.
That's the theme of it, is the hope. Yeah.
All right, so that is the Shawshank Redemption. God, that is a long one, man. Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah, I was
That
trying to
is-
go
that
as
is
fast
dreadful.
as possible.
I think it was all because of Morgan.
Because of who?
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman. I'm telling you, dude.
Yeah.
God.
And talk about his life. I got to talk about the movie. I'm cross-eyed now.
Yeah, no shit. Jesus, that was a tough one.
So are we gonna do what we talked about, or are we gonna?
Let's see what we draw first,
Okay.
and we'll decide from there. Don't say it out loud. Don't say it out loud. Let me see it first.
All right.
God, I hope it is. It'd be fucking hilarious. Nope.
Okay.
All right, so next week we are going to, for our 50th, because this is our 49th episode, next week for the 50th episode, we're going to fucking take one for the team, and we're going to do Spaceballs. Because
It's kind of funny because Kendra just talked to me about this earlier this week that it just got put onto, I think, Peacock on a streaming service.
You
I
don't,
don't know.
own Spaceballs?
I own it.
You know what's so
Oh, 'cause
funny
I
is I
own-
went to
I
buy a
own
few
Spaceballs.
cigars at the tobacco place the other day. I walked in and all I heard was like, I heard the scene. I heard the scene. And I walked up and I was like, hey, you watching Spaceballs? She goes, yeah, what gave it away? I was like, I'm surrounded by assholes. And she said, yep, that'll give it away.
Knock next time. Knock next
It was
time.
definitely a sign. I was like, oh, we got to do Spaceballs. I hope we get Spaceballs.
Did you see anything? No, I didn't see you playing with your toys again.
I didn't use your pen. It might die.
So next week we're gonna do Spaceballs, starring Rick Moranis and a bunch of other cool people, like John Candy and the Independence Day guy. I don't remember his fucking name.
Bill Pullman. Bill Pullman.
Bill Pullman. Oh man, we couldn't wait. We couldn't hold it in any longer. We
No.
have to do Spaceballs.
She has to watch it.
She needs to watch Spaceballs. I want to watch Spaceballs. Let's just do
I've been wanting to
Spaceballs
do it
for our
for a while.
50th episode because we want to do it so bad.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I love this fucking movie. This is easily. I'm going to tell you my
It's
score
on
already.
Max.
It's a 9.5.
Max. That's
Yeah,
right.
it's on Max.
It's on
Oh, on Max. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, this movie's amazing. I can't wait to fucking watch it.
Oh, by the way, they made it Max and made a whole different app, so now I'm signed out and I need to sign in.
Okay.
Oh, you better sign in.
All right. So next week we are doing Spaceballs. Anybody else got anything to say? Don't forget
I
to
got
check out our TikTok, our X. Everybody got to do it. Everybody do it. X.
I can't.
Come on, you guys. X. Come on, you guys. Do it like Zoltan, you know. X.
X.
Come on, Eric. Get in it, dude.
I can't lift my shoulder up. Damn it.
Why?
Fuck it up.
What do you mean you fucked it up?
I don't know. Fuck it up.
He got the old, even though we're older than him.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so check out our Twitter, our X, whatever, Facebook, our YouTube. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Check out our Rumble. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Blah, blah, blah. Subscribe.
Yeah,
Subscribe. Yeah,
that
that
thing.
stuff. Also comments, and make sure you go to our Spotify and our Apple and all that good stuff. And make sure you give us ratings and 5s, please. That'd be cool. And everything
Tell me
else.
what you think about the soundtrack from Cannibal Holocaust, please.
Yeah, the Holocaust thing.
Yeah.
Not the Holocaust. There was no soundtrack to the Holocaust.
Besides
The Cannibal
The
Holocaust.
Cannibal Holocaust. It's,
Obviously,
it's
there was
way
no
too
soundtrack.
cheerful.
Yeah, there was no soundtrack to the Holocaust.
Cannibal Holocaust, way too cheerful.
Anyway,
Also, you can let Dad know how much of a douchebag he is in the comments.
Yeah.
He likes hearing about it.
sure. Tell me how much of a douchebag I am. Whatever. I'll be the hated one.
You bring it on yourself.
See? You know what's funny? It's
They
funny
hate
because
me for being too quiet.
our friends across the street, Wayne and Chrissy, they were like, "Oh, so you have no?" Because Chrissy listens to the podcast. She's like, "Oh, so you have no friends?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "She heard that episode where I was like, I don't have any friends. Like friends are only convenient. Blah blah blah. All that stuff." She heard all that. And she's like, "Oh, you don't have any friends, huh?" I was like, "I was kidding."
hmm
Obviously, she knew I was kidding, but she had to give me shit for it.
Like
so.
I did.
You're right, exactly. So it was
Dick.
funny. She's like, "Oh, you have no friends," and it's funny. But
Yeah.
so obviously, I have no friends here because they all think I'm a
Let your
douchebag.
daughter get it right.
Shut the fuck up.
You would think we didn't love you if we just were
That
nice
is true.
to you all the
Yeah,
time.
That is true. But anyway, my wife loves me most of the time, so she usually calls me a dick and other sorts of names.
See, proves my point.
Yeah. Anyway, love you guys.
Bye.
See you next
Okay,
week
bye.
whenever we do Spaceballs.
Spaceballs!
Episode 50. How many 5s do I got to put up for 50? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Boop, boop, boop.
1, 2, 3,
Spirit
4,
fingers.
5, 6,
All right.
7, 8,
Anyway.
9, 10. It's
Goodbye.
10.
Till next
Wrong.
week.
Come to
Bye.
desert.
You only put up 25.
We ain't found
What
shit.
shit? What did I do? Hold on.
Hit the button.
The button.